Hello and welcome to the WrestlePurists podcast. I think we're up to about episode 20 right now. I'm
Yes,
joined
sir.
by Chris, Rob, and soon to be backup Hangman, but surprise, surprise, he's late again. It's kind of like it's like his gimmick at this point. But yeah, we're just here. We're going to be talking a bit of AEW Dynamite, talk a little bit of news, talk a little bit of
Yeah.
who knows where we'll go. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. What we're saying? How are you two doing today? I'll start with you, Rob.
I'm all right. Just been chilling all day. So just getting ready for the podcast. You know.
Sounds exciting.
hmm
Putting in deep training for the podcast. Uh, what are you saying, Chris? What are you telling me?
I'm chilling. You know, it is what it is.
Same old,
Not
same old.
not great, not bad.
Chris, obviously, yeah, having his mic issues all the time, but we'll
Yeah,
go it
it's
through.
just it
We'll
just
go
does
through.
that. I don't know
Yeah,
why
it
it does
just
that.
kind of, I don't know.
Damn, is it
Yo,
is it already starting to act up?
It's acting
Yeah.
up, but it's like we can live with it. We can live with it for now, but.
Yeah.
If when sometimes it goes crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're good. Let's get into Dynamite then. Let's not mess around. That's what the people, I'm assuming people came here for. People in the
Yeah.
comments already on back up Hangman's ass. Uh,
Yeah. Casino Battle Royal.
yeah, the Casino Battle Royal, obviously, to decide who's going into the main event of Dynamite last night to face John Moxley to be the number one contender for the interim AEW World Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, there was some big names in it, but there was a lot of omissions that I think are definitely fair to question, even though we won't really give explanations for them. Obviously, Hangman, Wardlow, all being ones. Like I know Hangman had a match, but
Yeah.
still, there was some big names, but there was a lot of glaring omissions. Obviously, some people were hurt, i.e., Adam Cole, Danielson. You
Yeah.
know, but yeah. What did you two think of the contestants to get started? I'll start with you again, Rob.
I uh who were the first five? Because this website is not telling me who the first five were.
Oh, there's no point going through
No,
it in
no,
order.
no.
We'll
First
be here
five. Okay.
all
Yeah,
night, bro.
I didn't really have a problem. I saw a lot of people. I see a lot of people had like a big problem with all the contestants and like the structure and how the battle royal went. And I was just like, dog. I mean, I don't really like the casino aspect either. Like the five people coming out in one draw, but it's just like it was a fun battle royal. You know, it was a fun
I
battle royal and
mean,
it had a purpose.
I
So
mean, it was
you didn't like it?
I don't like AEW Battle Royals. Full stop. I don't know if they've ever done a good one. Um, yeah, this casino battle
Really?
royal thing, it's not really my kind of thing. Definitely not. And I just don't think that they don't really have the people there who actually know how to put on a proper battle royal. A lot of it is just kind of a lot of nothing, to be honest. There was a lot of decisions throughout the battle royal as well that I thought were questionable. Obviously, the big one being the swerve turn on Keith Lee. Um, I'm hoping that isn't the actual turn because that would be ridiculous.
Oh
It
no,
also
it
it didn't even make sense in the confines of last night either because why would you
yeah.
eliminate the person who's going to help you get to the end of the battle royal? Like it didn't make
It
sense to eliminate him when he eliminated him. But
it
yo,
was a turn. It was a
I don't know.
turn.
You see what I
He
mean? The
tweeted like
tweets are making me think that was the actual turn. Like,
yeah, he was like dead weight, and I was like, what
yeah,
do you mean by
bro.
that, bro?
Like, I don't know, man.
Which doesn't really make sense. It does
It's a
not make
crazy
sense
spot to do it in, bro. It's a crazy spot to do it in. Like to do
because
a heel turn of like one
yeah,
of your
usually they build to this sort of thing. Like it's usually like tension between the tag teams. So I don't understand why exactly like he just did it all of a sudden. Unless like they explain it, he explains it on Rampage. Or, you know,
Hollywood.
Chris. I was going to say.
Hollywood's here, but he's saying his device isn't connected, so I don't know what he's doing. But he's here. He's just backstage. I don't know. I can't get him in because his device isn't connected. Apparently, Chris, you're on mute.
Yeah, Chris, you're on mute.
Yeah, you're back. We're professional.
I didn't have a big problem with the. Is it bad, Mike?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, I didn't have a big problem with the Battle Royal. It's as good as an AEW Battle Royal could be. I actually thought the contestants were fine, to be honest, for the most part. I mean, the Ass Boys and Caster, I think were the biggest people. I'm like, you didn't need to put them in there. But I think for the most part, especially towards the end, everything kind of formed into a really good match. The Swerve thing, I don't think it's necessarily a turn yet. I think it's a prelude to the turn. He'll probably be on Dynamite or Rampage saying, hey, every man for himself, but we cool, and they'll dap up and stuff like that. But if that was a turn, it was stupid. I know I've seen the tweets and everything, but still. Yeah, but it was as good as it could be. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like people were mad over the winner for nothing because no matter what, whoever won that battle royal was not going to beat Mox. So it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, people were mad at the winner, and it's like, bro, we still got a banger in the main event. No matter who out of that top 4, top 5 that were in the last 5 in the match, it was going to be a banger, nonetheless. And like Andrade just came back from his honeymoon with Charlotte. So are you gonna have him come back from like just return from like getting written off from the casket match and have him lose his first big match on Dynamite? And like that's the problem that I have with some of these ideas for booking. It's like you're gonna book a returning wrestler to lose in a big match. Why? It would just make him look completely dumb.
Thing is with Moxley, Moxley's so bulletproof that you know you can lose to Mox. You can pretty much anyone can lose to Mox and they'll be fine. But I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
Mox is a lot of people's. What people don't understand is Mox is a lot of people's wrestler of the year, and so when you're that high regarded in the industry, if you go to the main event and you would expect like somebody like the Ass Boys or something like that to get squashed, but you in story in kayfabe you lasted 10 to 15 minutes with the best wrestler in the world right now on a lot of people's mind. So like that's big as fuck. So I don't know why people are complaining.
I mean, fair. That's the thing. That's the thing with the position, isn't it? Like with going into the main event against Jon Moxley, there was a lot of people who wanted to see somebody who could, truly get elevated by the spot. And I guess you could argue that Kyle. I don't know. This is the thing. I don't feel like now that it's happened, I don't feel like Kyle has elevated himself any further on the card. To be honest, I don't know, man. I think it would have, especially with Jon Moxley being able to have all these great matches with young guys lately. I think it would have just been cool to just run another one of those back. Not necessarily Wheeler Yuta or Garcia, but I don't know. Like I said in the chat, I think I might have even said it on the title not once or twice, but I was kind of hoping for Ricky Starks, to be honest. But obviously everyone had who they wanted it to be, but that isn't why it was not for me. It's just AEW Battle Royals, man. They're just not. They're just.
And I also get why, like, a lot of people say they're over the whole booking and the pushing of UE or Undisputed Era or whatever you want to call them. But, like, you got to understand, if the Bucks, well, I'm not going to go into it until we go into it later, but it's just like there's a whole story going on with the Undisputed Elite. And if you don't see it, then I guess you don't see it. But we can go into the next segment unless you want to wait for Hangman to finally be able to join.
I mean, it was how long did it go? I think it went 25 minutes. I think it was. It's 25 minutes.
It was 20 minutes.
There was a couple spots in it that did pop me. I loved the Phoenix elimination. I thought that was sick. The low blow by Andrade. That just looks sick. Yeah, I don't think I would have used a battle royal to set up fucking Jake Hager versus Eddie Kingston this Friday on Rampage. Yeah, Hollywood's here now. Finally, the device is connected.
Finally.
He's live. He's 11 minutes late, even though we were late as well. So I don't know how
James-
late that actually is. We will work it out and add it to his phone. But,
James Harden has
yeah.
finally arrived.
Listen, technology doesn't like me, man. I wanted to get on my actual microphone on my laptop, and for whatever reason, my laptop is just not cooperating with me. I had everything set up and hooked up, and it's saying that it didn't recognize my devices, even though it did last week and the week before. So you have to bear with me. I'm using the dingy headphones to talk to you guys on my phone, unfortunately. Good for me though. Now that I'm on my phone, I get to walk around my house and make waffles. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about? The Battle Royal?
Yeah, what did you think of the battle royal?
Okay, so I am not a fan of the casino Battle Royal concept, and I took a couple notes on why it comes off a little clusterfuckish. So here's the deal when it comes to these things. I don't know if you guys know this for the viewers and the listeners and the guys in this stream. When WWE does Royal Rumbles, like they don't actually go every 2 minutes. Like the times are kayfabe, right? And the next entrant usually comes after the planned spot that was set up is finished. And so when that happens, it allows for moments to breathe, and you don't have these awkward production moments where the camera doesn't know whether to shoot the guy entering the ring or the guy doing a move. And so it's this really weird moment because, the guys in the ring are like kind of half stopping, but some of them are continuing to do their sequence. And then guys are kind of running out, and it's like, and they're coming out in rapid succession too. So it's like, shoot the guy. No, shoot the ring. Shoot the guy. Shoot the next guy. Shoot the ring. And it's like, it's a total cluster at the beginning. When I was watching this, right, I enjoyed the very beginning of it when it was Darby, Lance Archer, Garcia, Kingston, and I think Tony Nese.
Mm-hmm.
I liked a lot of that stuff, and then again, like the issue started to mount once it became like, a timing issue of like finishing the spots and sending people out for the next entrances and stuff like that. So it got messy really fast. But with that said, one of the positives I thought was it really just hits you again, like just how talented this roster is. Because, everybody, the ring is piling up with like all these really good guys. And I was really enjoying a lot of the kind of unique interactions that you otherwise wouldn't really get. And so it's kind of cool seeing the entire larger roster interact with each other. There's a couple really cool ones. And so that was pretty good. Let me check my notes here because it's kind of hard to remember Okay, I got it right here. So here's the deal. So what did I write? Oh no, all I have here is AEW needs to do kayfabe times. That's hilarious. Okay, but yeah, no, there was a lot of cool interactions. For me, I think where this got a little bit of a because as the ring started to kind of clear out a little bit and we got down to the last 8, 7, 6, 5 people, we started to get some really cool maneuvers and double team stuff. I liked Swerve. I liked Swerve working with Darby. That was fun. I liked Andrade working with Ray Phoenix. That was cool. I took note of Swerve eliminating Keith Lee and then eliminating Darby. That's interesting. Swerve, to be honest, kind of comes off like a natural douchebag in general. So, to be frank, the moment he debuted, I didn't feel he was gonna be a babyface long term, and I still don't see it now. Especially, I don't think he's gonna be a babyface long term. So I guess this may be the start of that. For me, I guess where the issue arrived was just that we got down to the last few people, and this is actually one of my issues with a lot of modern Royal Rumbles. And it's like I'm looking at the guys in the ring, and like they're all talented, but none of them felt like realistic main event contenders for Jon Moxley in the sense that like none of these people are gonna beat Jon Moxley. And for a lot of people, that's not going to be an issue because it's like any one of those guys you put them in with Moxie, it's a great match, right? Absolutely. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like it is a business, and I think from like a TV standpoint, like you put whoever, like it didn't really matter which one. Like none of them was going to none of them in the main event. You put them against Mox. Like I think some people are gonna just say like, well, Mox is gonna win that, so let me just watch this NBA Finals game. You know,
you don't think Lance Archer, who's the only guy like to ever beat Moxley clean or whatever, could beat John Moxley? That's crazy.
Not in that spot.
Lance
Absolutely
Archer.
not,
Wait, pause. Time out.
I'm fucking with you.
No, I was gonna say Lance Archer wasn't even in the final 4 or 5. He was eliminated like 5 minutes into the match.
We've lost Chris. I don't know if anyone's know.
Yeah, he's
Chris,
having.
I think he went to go do something. One of the things I did want to point out now that I'm scrolling down his website is, I was reminded that Takashita got eliminated by Hobbs and Starks, and then after the match, he tweeted him sitting there. He was like, "Damn, I need a partner to like fight them off." So I don't know if that's gonna be Dante, because Dante's still doing the stuff with the side out. But
They love throwing Dante in tags, man.
I mean, it's where he shines. So
yeah,
I get it. You know, Dante in singles matches in AEW has more misses than he does in tag settings. So I could see why they want to utilize his athleticism and get Takeshita back on TV. But to just conclude my thoughts on the Battle Royal, we got down to the last couple guys, and I'm just sitting there like none of these guys are viable, actual, legitimate challenges for John Moxley. And but even with that said, just going off the momentum of the match, the crowd was gravitating towards Darby Allin, and they were gravitating towards Wheeler Yuta. And I thought
big for Yuta.
They were into Wheeler Yuta, which is good. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, I wouldn't be opposed of a rematch with Mox, but you know, that's just not the decision they made. I was looking at Darby and I'm like, hey man, you know, Darby is a star in AEW. He's been a bit de-emphasized over the last year or so, kind of shortly after the Punk match. But he is, look, they still see him as a star, and he's great. So I wouldn't have been opposed to that. But obviously, like Andrade being the Joker, like to me, it's like okay, he's the Joker, he's back, and you know, I do think Andrade is up there. You know, I would have liked to see him win based on the situation, but they went with Kyle.
Yeah.
And to me, when Kyle won. When they went with Kyle, I was just kind of like, that's certainly a choice. To me, it's like that's a great wrestling match. But like, it's just tough. I get that Tony sees him at a certain level, but he's just not been portrayed, you know, at that main event level in AEW, and it's just kind of weird to see him kind of get favored a little bit over some of these guys that you think would be above him on the totem pole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
not crazy.
I don't know. I don't know if you heard me say it in the space. If you heard me say it before you came in, but it's just like I'm looking at all the other guys in the match, and it's like Yuta, who's just coming back from the best of the Super Juniors, a great run in the best of the Super Juniors. It's just like you got Phoenix in there, who's just coming off of the feud. You got which it seems like they got plans with him and Andrade, who just came back from the honeymoon, and it's just like all these guys are looking like they're getting planned for not big things, but they're getting planned for certain spots and certain angles. So it's just like Kyle is the one that you would go with because you know it's going to be a great match. Number one, number two is like you're going to go with Kyle because it's like Kyle, he's not Teflon like Ishii is, as in the sense to where he's like a made man, but it's like Kyle can take a loss and it won't mean anything. You know what I mean? And plus, Kyle did just get a win at the pay-per-view.
So I hear everything you're saying. I understand the rationale. Monty and Rob, I fucking hate this mindset because why is it that we're competing for the world title? This is world title business. Why is the logic? Why is the title business? I mean, why is the logic? Well, he could eat the pin. Who fucking bro? Anybody should be able to just eat the pin if it's a world title situation, bro. I don't want to hear. Listen, hold up. I don't want to hear this main eventer can't be in it because he does have to lose, and this guy can't be in. So then you just throw a mid Carter in there. You know, again, it's like O'Reilly's a great worker, and that match. Look, and I'll get to that. I love that main event. Like, I thought it was sensational, right? And I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just like that's gonna lead to just a lot of really shitty booking habits. If it's like if you're so what do you say?
Does it lead to?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's that's a shitty booking habit to just have the mindset of just we gotta overprotect every single guy worth of shit that's been pushed at a certain level. Because listen, at some point, top guys have to interact with other top guys. It's why, frankly, my suggestion last week was, you know, I'd like to see Chris Jericho win it, because and my rationale personally was that it furthers the Blackpool Combat Club versus JAS feud. It's a big matchup you could put up on TV. It's a rematch of a former world title match. And the audience might not. There's no guarantee to the audience that Moxie's going to win that. You know what I mean? That's my thing. They went with Kyle, and to me, it's just like, look, I get it. Tony's high on Kyle. He's a great worker. That's a great main event match from a wrestling standpoint. But it's just to me, just very questionable based on where he's been positioned versus some of the other guys in the show.
Yeah, and it's just like, it also goes back to your point of like, I don't disagree with you. It's like nothing on them, but none of those 4 guys really felt like legit main eventers because they haven't been portrayed as such. And so it's just like, and if you notice throughout the Battle Royal, which I really can't stand the Casino Battle Royal concept, but if you've seen throughout the match, they were just like kind of setting up stories, setting up angles throughout the match, like the one that led to the Hager match this Friday. And it's just like, I get that, but at the same time, it's just like, bro, I don't know what the fuck is going on in Tony's mind, so I can't really. I'm
fine with setting up matchups through the Battle Royal. That's totally fine in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I said, I thought a lot of the interactions were pretty cool. My only issue, actually I have 2. One of them is just, what is the logic for why certain main event talents aren't in this match and why others are?
We ain't getting told that, bro.
No, we're not gonna get told. So it's been at least what I'll say is some of the ones that were absent, they did kind of allude to some rationale personally of not being in the match, whether it be Wardlow just not believing in this interim belt, and Hangman.
Lost Hollywood. Is he gone? He's gone.
I think he is. Yeah, I think he is.
Oh, hello.
Hello? Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good now.
I was gonna say Hangman. He alluded to basically like being froze out of the match by Tony Khan, which is a little weird.
Which is very interesting.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Very interesting.
It's weird. Like, let's be real. Yeah. You've got the AEW Interim Championship, which has already been in question all week anyway, ever since it happened. Like, people, some people are, why didn't CM Punk relinquish it? Some people obviously have been confused and angry about how kind of AEW have rolled out the information the past week, which is, fair. I'm sure they got it right in the end, I guess. But, so you want to put over this interim bout, and they did not do that in the first hour or so of this fucking television show. So there was a lot of glaring omissions from the Battle Royal. So that if you're gonna have like I said, the objective of this show should have really been to put over that interim bout. Really, to be honest,
basically,
With the omission from the Battle Royal, you don't do that successfully. With Kyle O'Reilly winning it, you don't do it successfully. I thought the Battle Royal, to allude to what Hangman said, was like I said, AEW just don't do Battle Royals. Well, I just don't think they've clocked how to do them yet. And to be honest, obviously they're hard. There's a lot of people involved. There's timing issues. There's all kinds of stuff. They don't have a Pat Patterson. Rest in peace. But it's
Monty, to interrupt you real quick. I don't know if you guys noticed. I think it was when Keith Lee was going back and forth with Lance Archer. The shoot timer came on the screen, and you saw Join Dark Order come up on the Titantron as Keith Lee was like kind of struggling with Lance Archer. And because the spot wasn't finished, you see it go off the screen, and then these 2 big men take like a minute to do their spot, and then comes back Join Dark Order, and then John Silver's out.
Yeah,
and so I'm seeing that, and I'm like, yeah, like that's the thing. Like, you gotta, if you're gonna make a casino format like that, like a Royal Rumble style format, you're gonna have to do kayfabe times, because otherwise you're gonna have these production issues where it's like you don't know what to shoot because these things are coinciding with each other, like the entrances and the wrestling spots.
Yeah, my two favorite battle royals that they've ever done, and these are the only good ones I think they've ever done, is the tag team one from Revolution last year.
That was good.
The
Double or Nothing one was good. From last year.
And also the first ever tag team one that they did, it was when the Bucks won it, I think, when they hit that super kick on Sammy. And
I thought you were talking about the one You're talking about the one with where Darius Martin was taking on the Young Bucks in Daly's place, but no,
That
That
was
was
the
cool
one
too.
before
No, that was
Revolution.
cool too.
yeah.
No, I'm talking.
Look,
No, I'm talking about the one for the one at Revolution last year. The same show.
that was great. That was when I remember Phoenix made it late into that one.
He won it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah. So
It was
that was. Go ahead.
that was the match Phoenix won, and the next night they had that 5-star match on Dynamite. Pac and the Young Bucks. Pac, Phoenix, and the Young Bucks.
Oh yeah, they had a match that people like there. What was I gonna say? Monty. But nah. Yeah. Battle royals, like I said, they're tricky. And the casino thing is just a bit of a. It's just a tricky concept to pull off, especially if you're doing it with shoot times. And not just kayfabing times. What I will put over with that match is that, there's a big difference between the first Casino Battle Royal on the pre-show of the first Double or Nothing show and the one last night.
Yeah.
Like, I thought from a roster standpoint, like the very first Casino Battle Royal was
he
like
lagging for everybody else.
Hello?
Who? Is who lagging?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Am I good, Monty? Am I good?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right, cool. I would have lost my shit. Look, now I was gonna say, the first Casino Battle Royal ever in AEW, like that was like freak show nonsense, right? Like we had the oil man, we had the nipple stapler, we had a legless man, we had Tommy Dreamer,
We had Joe Janela.
It was an absolute freak show. It was just total nonsense. And that was also a contendership for a world title. And I remember just thinking, like, how could you tell people like these are the people that are vying for your biggest championship? And now the field is much, much, much better. There's tons of top class talents. I just thought that the decision to choose O'Reilly was certainly a choice. And if the reasoning is just he can take a loss, I just hate that rationale. Really, you're gonna have to embrace the fact that top guys are gonna have to take on top guys, and someone's gonna take a loss, and that's fine. You know what I mean? It's really trust me, it's okay. But that's kind of just all I have to say about that.
Kyle O'Reilly was the perfect winner.
W. See, that's why that's my guy, bro. See,
bro.
Why do you feel that way?
How does Kyle O'Reilly help bring prestige to the eventual interim?
Because Kyle O'Reilly is a fucking dog in that ring.
He's good in the ring. He's good in the ring, bro. How does he elevate anything?
Dog, nigga. What do you mean?
I hate myself because it makes me sound like I'm hating on Cole. I think Cole.
No. To be honest with you, like I'm not even trying to troll. I really want to know your rationale, Chris. That's not just like bootlicking. Like, why do you feel that he was the right winner?
Chris's face.
I just genuinely want to. I want to know.
I'm not saying he was the right winner. I'm saying that there's not a perfect winner. All right. Listen, I'm saying he's the perfect winner because of the match. What turned out in the main event is why he was the perfect winner. But I don't think he should.
Chris, you realize John Moxley could have a banger with 90% of the AEW roster.
Yeah, Kiwi.
Oh, but he didn't face 90% of the AEW roster.
He just said like the roster's full of dogs.
I don't care. Hey, listen,
John Moxley would have a beast match with literally like almost anybody in that final 11 guys.
All right, nigga. Well, he had that beast match with KOR, nigga.
Yeah.
But if Dax would have won the Battle Royal, you would have been fucking.
What
a great choice. Dax, like you niggas think.
No,
bro.
No.
I wouldn't have done that for Dax.
Bro, I'm not a golfer. I'm gonna tell you right now, selfishly, I'd love to see that match. I love Dax Harwood. I think he's awesome, right? But I would also. He's fucking great. That's what he is. He's all right. He's tremendous. But as I was saying, nigga,
Star General.
He's a guy who's been in more heated, important, fucking life-filled matches than Kyle this year. But
every match he's had has been with a good worker.
What the fuck are you talking about, yo? What are you talking about?
No.
I'm sorry,
dude,
bro.
I can't do this, bro.
We're downplaying Dax, bro. Like, what is wrong?
This is what I'm saying.
Like, what are we talking about right now? What are we talking about?
What is happening?
Wait, Chris, so the Ass Boys are good workers?
Who said the Ass Boys were good workers?
No, you said every match he's had this year has been with a good worker. That's what you said.
I'm talking about singles matches.
Okay.
We're talking about singles. We're talking about singles battle royal.
Now, time out. So is your argument to diminish Dax the fact that his good matches were against good wrestlers? Is that really your
no? That's not my argument. I'm just saying my argument is if Dax Harwood would have won the battle,
why did you bring up Dax anyway?
Okay, well, Chris, I was in the middle of replying to you. I love Dax Harwood. I think he's awesome. I enjoy watching him wrestle. He's one of my favorite people to watch wrestle in AEW, right? But if he won the battle royal, you know what I would have thought? Honestly, I would have said, hey, you know, relative to his push on screen, this would be a bit jarring to to the audience because it's like, how is he, you know, how is he above in the totem pole? How is he above, you know, an Andrade or certain other guys that were in the match, and you know, let alone some of the guys who didn't even make it to the match that were pushed harder than him, you know, in general. You know, I would have questioned the logic. I'm allowed to listen. I'm allowed to selfishly, subjectively enjoy certain things and also think they're maybe not the best choice from a logic standpoint. Yeah. So no, Chris, I'm not biased, and I wouldn't have said that. And mind you, Chris, I'll get into it later. I'll get into it later. I thought the Kyle O'Reilly Moxie match was sensational, but listen, if you live by the mindset of just the match will bang, though, that's when you get into a lot of really fucking shitty booking habits, and that's when you turn into NXT right before it became 2.0.
Down, man.
That's what I'm saying.
We got David Finley versus Hangman.
You guys are gonna continue to justify just really questionable things, and instead, here's what happens when this happens, right? You let minor things snowball into growing problems, but because the matches bang, then instead of letting the promotion know, like, this is an issue, that's an issue, they don't correct the issue because listen, I'm telling you the truth. If you don't let the promotion know these things that are minor issues, they're gonna snowball into bigger issues because the promoter thinks, hey, the audience doesn't fucking care as long as the matches bang. You book like that, and that's how you end up becoming a promotion that just is generally top to bottom poorly booked. AEW is not in that position. They're not a poorly booked promotion overall, right? But I'm telling you right now, if the audience doesn't hold the put the fucking promoter's foot to the fire and point out certain things don't make fucking sense. I'm telling you, that's what happened to NXT. Triple H said, hey, fuck it. This shit don't make no damn sense, but Cole and fucking Ciampa, 17 near falls and the match is fucking bang. Y'all are cool, right? That's what happened to fucking Black and Gold. And at some point, y'all got desensitized to fucking great matches because the shit made no fucking sense and there was no rhyme or reason to nothing.
Listen, all I know is who had the best match of Finn Balor's last NXT title reign? Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly. He's a great wrestler.
Throughout 2018, Kyle O'Reilly. Listen, nigga, Kyle O'Reilly got that fucking dog in him, dog, and that's why he.
Name one good storyline or sort of anything like that. He's been involved in, bro.
Wait, name what? Name
one good storyline Kyle O'Reilly's been involved in, like
in any promotion.
No, well, if you're gonna start going back like 6-7 years, I'm not here.
The spot.
You asked me a question.
I mean, I was actually somebody that followed. Go ahead.
Oh my god.
Go ahead. You got it, right?
Am I lagging?
No, you're fine.
The spot when he broke Balor's fucking jaw. The multiple fucking transitional.
He broke his jaw as a shoot. And bro, breaking someone's jaw as a shoot.
He literally just gave him a legitimate rolling elbow and broke his jaw.
What do you mean? No, that's not.
Hey, listen, man. Niggas get shot every day, B. It happens sometimes. I don't know.
Okay, but that's not a storyline. He just broke his jaw.
Listen. Niggas get shot.
Monty, these niggas are dead wrong, to be honest with you. They're making a very emotional based appeal. And look, I understand if it's not. Look, my issues don't have to be your issues. Let's get that straight. My problems do not have to be your problems with the show, right? But what I'm saying is, if Tony Khan sees that most people have y'all's mentality of just, hey, listen, there's a plot hole here, there's a plot hole there, but fuck it. These matches are great. What's gonna happen is that's gonna just be a big masquerade on like a really fucking haphazard and flimsy foundation. You know what I'm saying, Monty? Like if you can just go. That's what I'm saying. You can have a Dynamite that makes no sense, but there's 2 4-star matches and everyone says it's a great show. And look, I love great wrestling I love great wrestling as much as the next guy. I thought that this show had 2 matches that I would call very good to great. You know what I'm saying? But was this on the level of like other Dynamites? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I thought it was a very, very awkward show on multiple levels. I just thought.
I'll be straight up on it. Like, the matches weren't bad or anything like that. Well,
what?
Bro, no, Rob, there has to
just
be.
get to the next subject.
No, I'm fucking talking right now.
Battle important, though, bro.
Listen, hey, Chris, if you can't listen to fucking legitimate, measured, non-bad faith criticism of your favorite promotion, then leave the podcast. Because we're not here to fucking do a puff piece, bro. We're not here to fucking have a pillow fight or fucking massage you. Like, these are legitimate gripes. If every Dynamite is on the same level, no, Chris, listen. If every Dynamite is on the same level, then what's the level? Because that's just not true. There's great Dynamites, there's good Dynamites, and there's okay Dynamites. If we call everything fucking great, then what's great? You're diluting great. And we know this promotion can be great. Why are we lying? If we fucking lie, no, because it's the truth. Bro, niggas getting so mad with this shit. Niggas love, bro, stop calling mid great, because then we don't have great anymore. We've seen greatness from the listen to me. Bro, listen to me. Hear me out. This promotion is capable of some of the greatest things I've ever seen in the history of the medium. And we've seen it time and time again. We've seen some of it last week. But if we justify mediocrity by lying, then we literally lose the line. And we've seen this promotion at a certain standard. You have to hold it to that standard, because if you don't hold it to that standard, you get bullshit. That's why WWE's in the state it's in, because their fan base doesn't fucking hold the promotion's foot to the fire. Niggas always justify nonsense and bad fucking content. It's the truth. This Dynamite is not on the, and look, it's fine. It's fine to have an okay show. It's not the end of the world. The sky's not falling. The promotion's not gonna die. They're not, whatever. But I'm just saying, there's levels to this shit. And if niggas continue to fucking lie because they're just afraid, or they just don't want to hear certain conversations, or they want to put their fingers in their ear, I'm telling you, that's how you become WWE. Not overnight, not in a week. It's fine, not in a week, but I'm telling you, that shit is what fucking causes shit to fall apart. I seen that shit with TNA, bro. I saw that shit with TNA, bro.
Deep in your soul, that TNA about that.
I'm just saying.
He's really having flashbacks.
Yeah, I am having flashbacks. No, I'm not having flashbacks. Tony Khan. Hey, wait. AEW will never be TNA because Tony Khan is a billion times more competent than Dixie Carter.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You're going places.
He's a trillion times more competent than Dixie Carter. But with that said, bro, we've seen the show have unbelievable angles, incredible creativity, variety in presentation, variety in flow, great crowds, this and that. Like, no, bro, Dynamite last night, it was an okay show. You know what I'm saying? It was okay. And my general point is just that it's okay to just be honest about some shit being okay. You don't have to lie, and it doesn't mean you have to go la 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 la. Like, shit just be what it is sometimes.
I'm just saying, I never said this show was great. I myself last night said it is not on par with the most of the shows. So I just don't know, like, why you're taking it. Like, I never said this show was great.
I'm not yelling at you, Chris. I'm yelling at AEW fans.
It's the idea of the matches were good though. Like,
so,
I can't fuck
I don't
want that
mentality. That's what I'm saying. No. If that's your mentality, bro, that's fine. Niggas, we all have different reasons to enjoy this medium, right? If you're a matches guy and your primary reason to consume wrestling is I want to see great matches, and this does it for you, that's totally fine, right? That's totally fine. But in general, when someone brings up a valid criticism that they personally have about the show, because the show has shown they've been able to not have these types of problems in the past, if your answer to that criticism that this person is making is, "But the match is great," it's like, bro, I don't want to hear it, bro. That's good for you. That's good for you, bro. If it's like, that's fine. If it was fine for you, that's not fine for me.
It's the holes in the logic and shit, bro. Like, Tony does get AEW in general, it just kind of just gets away with a lot, bro. Like, they just do, man.
With that said, Monty, with this whole rant said, I don't think the show, like you said, I don't think it was bad. It was okay. Like, it was an okay show.
I thought just like all the angles and just everything. Just I said to Chris before we came live, like, how many backstage segments was it? Like, it's just. The Wardlow promo. Like, obviously, we'll get there, but the Wardlow promo and the Hangman promos were just like.
Rob, please no.
I'm not.
I'd rather
Hangman,
just get
I
to the next
agreed
segment.
with you. I'm about to say
The next segment was a Moxley promo.
I'm about to say we're sitting here.
That was amazing.
I agree with you. I agreed with you. Like we're yelling. But,
I just feel like we talked about this subject for a little too long.
Chris is tired.
We started this at 15 minutes. It's 40 minutes now.
Like I 100% understand what happened.
Well, I mean, Rob, what's a more important conversation to have? This topic or fucking Hangman Page versus
title?
David? Wait, hold up.
The new. Wait a minute.
Do you want to talk about David Finley versus Hangman Page for 15 minutes, bro? What's there to say?
The new championship that they just put out.
Yes, bro. You want another rant? We'll talk about the championship, bro. Yo,
we can get to the new championship. Let's
all right. Well,
I'll let y'all start with that.
That's next. That's next. So Moxley cut a promo is great. Moxley doing his thing. Obviously,
he said he greeted his mother at the end of it.
Yeah, part.
Yeah.
Then they were like, okay, so we got this new title to introduce.
Yeah.
And it's the All Atlantic Championship.
Yeah.
The belt nobody was asking for. The belt that is called the All Atlantic Championship and has a Japanese flag on it. The belt that Tony Khan has decided to introduce at a time when the tag team belts, the Women's Championship and the TNT Championship definitely could do with getting to a level they were once at. I genuinely have no fucking idea what he was thinking by introducing this title.
I have a theory. I have a theory, but I'll let you guys into it.
I like the actual concept of the title, to be honest. I think the actual belt itself is very nice too. But like I said, the timing of dropping this right now, like even if it's just to do a match on Forbidden Door, is just fucking ridiculous, bro. Like it just is.
But yeah, no, I agree.
I'll let Rob and Chris go first.
Well, wait, am I?
Chris, you go first.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, I agree, Montel. Like we were talking about backstage. I wouldn't have introduced this championship, even though like I think like 2 days before Dynamite, I was talking to some people and I was like, instead of a trios belts, I would rather them do a high speed championship type of thing to replace the TNT title with the work rate type shit. So I don't have a problem with the belt. It's not a belt I would personally introduce, especially right now. But like I think the belt will be in a bet. I think they want to transition the TNT title away from the work rate moniker it has.
I think so too.
Yeah, because you know.
No, you lagging.
I'm pretty sure Wardlow. Unless this nigga turns into Mike Awesome.
Yeah.
This man Chris is stealing my takes from the group chat. God damn it.
What?
Man, stealing my take. You stole all my material, nigga.
I've been said, bro. Listen,
what material?
Did that fucking...
Bro, check the group chat, bro. I said all this shit.
When he did that fucking that awesome bomb to that DPW roster member over the top rope and all niggas caught him, I said, bro, he just needs to do the dangerous awesome bomb from now on. Like, forever.
But I don't have a problem with the belt. I don't love the inclusion of it right now, per se. Especially if you just want to do it to get a match on Forbidden Door. But I think the belt in the future will be probably my favorite part about the show, depending on who's the first holder.
Definitely has that potential.
Which I think has been telegraphed to hell. Like they telegraphed the fucker who's winning it. They said the UK like 20 times tonight. So
they were shouting us off on.
Wait. Are you saying this is just the PAC championship?
Yes.
Yeah, his bitch ass. I mean, he don't want to move to America, so they said, "All right, here, nigga, damn."
Tony Khan said, "All right, nigga, I'll make a belt for you, bro." Like,
bro, Chris said last night in the space, and I didn't notice this. Chris said that they said for 20 times, "We're number one in the UK." I was like, "All right,
yeah,
I get it."
I mean, that reminds me of listen, the WWF made the European Championship for the exact same reasons, 25 years ago. So I see it. Rob, you have anything to say before I get into it?
I like I'm indifferent. I like the championship. I like the concept. I just wish they wouldn't have spoiled who's winning so fucking much. But I like the concept, and the tournament looks dope as fuck. I'm just ready for the New Japan members to get announced. So that's all my thoughts on it are.
All right, so here's the deal, Monty. I've seen a lot of the conversation today about like, belts and prestige and too many belts and things like that. I got to be honest. I understand both sides of this argument. Like people who say like, some of these guys need something more to fight for, and other people saying that like if everyone's a champion, then what's really a championship and what's the value? And really, I do understand both sides. I think because I'm not super duper passionate about the topic, I can understand both sides and also not feel super strongly. I guess what I would say about it is this: the championship looks visually beautiful. I like the name. The name is very territory era-ish. I think that's really cool. And what I'll say, especially looking later on in the show with Wardlow, I think Tony Khan wants to make, and Chris stole my material here, but I do think he wants to make the TNT Championship. I think he wants to transition the identity of it a little bit, and if he puts it on Wardlow because he feels like Wardlow needs a championship, that does make it a very different championship. And if that's the case, and CM Punk comes back and he's the world champion, you have a situation where your world title is the belt where your top draws and top guys who can carry segments are fighting for. And I'm not saying that the people in that position aren't great workers, but some of the greatest workers or really the most exciting wrestlers in AEW aren't necessarily guys who can carry a top program, which is why I could see Tony Khan wanting to give them something to fight for.
Yeah.
So I could see that. So if this really, and this is just my theory, but if All Atlantic becomes the work rate belt, and TNT is just essentially Wardlow's Haas belt, and then the world title is just top draws, in programs, I could understand that. My actual kind of issue with this whole thing is, Monty?
Mine's literally probably just timing, really, to be honest.
So I'm gonna tell you mine. What is our vehicle to achieve this belt? What are we doing to get to this belt? We're doing a tournament, right?
Yeah.
What did I say about the Owen tournament?
Bro, this is to your rant earlier, bro. Like, they don't learn.
There's zero differentiation between any of these AEW tournaments. We just do a bunch of tournaments all the time, and that's fine. I like tournaments because it's like they're wrestling based and they're vehicles for great matches, and there's stakes to it. But it's like the Owen tournament, my problem was, I'm like, there's been previous numerous tournaments of AEW. What's the difference between this and the other one, right? And that Owen tournament resulted in just a pink belt prop, and now we're doing another tournament for just another belt. It's like all these are just the same. You know what I mean? Like, but that's actually my only major actual active problem that I have with this. So,
Chris, what? Because you were going to say something.
I think this tournament is different. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. No, you're good.
I think this tournament, from what you said, Hangman, I think this tournament is different for the pure fact it's everyone in this tournament is from different countries. And I think that's a little, but, I do think, I'm pretty sure the idea of the title is probably going to be you have to defend it. You have to defend it against someone from a different country than you're from. So I think the tournament.
Have they made that distinction yet?
Yes.
No, I'm just brainstorming here. Oh, I don't know if they did. I was just brainstorming.
You know what I'll say, Chris? So here's my philosophy on championships, guys, because I know people say, you shouldn't have this many championships and that many championships. My thinking is this. I think I'm okay with new championships as long as there's a differentiation between that one and the next championship, because there's no need to have 3 intercontinental championships. You know what I mean? But if you say like this one has a weight class restriction or an age restriction or a stylistic restriction when it comes to the way you wrestle for it, or there's a specific rule for this title, that's totally fine, because then you add a new element to the show. You know what I mean? So like X Division Championship made sense because it was like, this is the crazy high flying, hard hitting indie style wrestling belt, right? But if it's one of those things where this is just a second TNT title, then that's when it's literally blatantly, I just want to give some other guys belts to hold as well, and I got a book around it. The IWGP.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, my thing with belts is I don't really mind. I don't care about how many belts there is, if there's too many or too little. It's just that as long as the people fighting for the belt and holding the belt are doing interesting, good programs and good shit and having good matches, I'm pretty much fine. So that's why I bring up the timing issue, because that's not what they're doing with the TNT, with the Women's Championship. And the tag matches, you can argue more on the match side of it, but the programs and stuff, you know, like ever since Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus have held the belts, it's felt less important. So
that's
like I said, when there's times when the belts aren't, they're not even where. Never mind where you want them to be in a few years' time, or a few months' time, or a few weeks' time, or however long. It's from where they're at now. It's just they're not even where they used to be. Never mind where you want them to go in the future. So, like I said, the timing thing is my main problem with the All Atlantic Championship.
Yeah, I will say that is a valid, and it's making sense. That's a valid claim. And yes, guys, we're not illiterate. We know that they put Pacific members of like the world in the fucking All Atlantic Championship tournament. We know this. Like, there's people from the Pacific in it. It's not that hard to understand. But it's just like I get what you're saying, dog. You know, like it's just bad timing. I feel like this is going to be announced anyway. It's just the timing of this at the time where, you know, you have all these championships, and I'm not gonna say they mean nothing, but like they're not, you know, the prominent, like the fucking secondary title. I wouldn't call it a secondary title, but I mean, I guess the quote unquote Intercontinental Championship of the women's division means more than the actual women's championship right now. So it's just like I would focus more on that than the Mid-Atlantic Championship. I'm trying to find. I've been searching like for the past 5 minutes the details on this title, because
you're not gonna. We don't have any at the moment. Really.
Yeah, but from what it looks like, it's going to be people from outside the country holding this championship. So like Canada. So like Kyle O'Reilly and guys like Kenny will be able to fight for this because they're from like Canada and stuff like that.
No, that's not what it is, Rob. It's not.
That's not what it is.
You can still challenge. You can still challenge for it in America, but when you defend the belt, you have to defend it from somebody not from America. Or if you're from Japan, you can't defend it from. You can't defend it.
I'm gonna pause everybody right there.
Are you sure?
Was this ever explicitly stated on TV? I feel like this is a lot of people's theories.
No.
I said it was a theory.
Oh, okay.
That's just theorizing.
I'm theorizing to the Stardom belt where it's the same concept. I hope this is the direction they'll go, but they might not. I'm just theorizing.
Can I be honest? I don't think they're gonna do that. I think it's the same way that, like, I remember when I was a kid and I heard the name Intercontinental Championship. I remember thinking like, oh, so does that mean like you can only defend this belt in different continents? I think it's just a title, bro. To be honest with you, I think it's just the name of the belt. And to be, I don't really care. Like, I don't need it to have this like somewhat convoluted thing of like you have to go to a different country to defend it here, or like you have to defend it from like you don't need to put racial barriers on a championship for how you're defending it. I don't really need any of that.
Yeah, because if they're doing this, if they're doing this and it's like a literal Atlantic title, that's how they're be like, oh, this is all white champions. Like, what is
exactly. So to me, again, you know what I will say, Monty, especially now that these guys are talking about this, it does feel like, because they're saying like, because I was saying like we don't have details yet, right? It feels like recently they've been announcing or doing things and then figuring out what it means or how we go about it later, and then explaining it on a further show. It's like they do something on TV. Dave Meltzer has to talk to Tony Khan personally and then clarify on his radio, on his Observer, and then like the next AEW program, Excalibur has to dub in an explanation on Rampage. Like, you know, but I'll tell them this, man. Look, in general, it's a weird time. There's so many guys hurt. And I'll say this, Monty. I was talking to, I think I said this to Righteous Reg of Grapsity. When he was talking about the injuries and we were discussing like, you know, all the injuries to top guys in different promotions. You know, I was very aware of the reality that the next few weeks of AEW TV are going to be kind of weird. And so even though I you know, it seemed like I was burying this episode and stuff like that, I do acknowledge that it's just going to be a bit of a just kind of semi-disastrous vibe to like a lot of what's happening, because it's a lot of fly by the seat of your pants, figuring out who we have and what we could do with who we have in the moment. And so I just want to point out that I acknowledge that and I'm aware of that, even though I still will bitch about certain things.
Yeah, we have to be fair.
Yes. I also want to say the talent pool in the bracket is pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like those matches are gonna fuck. Absolutely, dog.
Yes.
Next, Eddie Kingston basically said, "Fuck off." He basically said, "Fuck off, Jericho Appreciation Society."
Next was the Pac versus Buddy match, bro.
Oh yeah. Well,
oh yeah. I forgot. Man, I was about to completely skip over the
I need to flow the show.
Yeah, right. This man Rob's like, so anyway, John Moxley and Kyle Riley. That's what it's like. Damn, he skipped the whole show. Like,
yeah, no, I was looking at the wrong thing on the
just
website.
let Monty cook with the lineup, bro.
Yeah, my fault. Pac versus
Buddy. I thought. I mean, I'm sure we're all in agreement that this is really good, right?
Yeah,
it was good. I just wish the crowd was a bit into it. I wish the crowd was into it a bit more.
Yeah, it's
good. Obviously, it's just Pac versus Buddy Murphy, man.
Like that's
spots.
Yeah,
it got to fight forever, chance. So,
I what I'll say is, I mean, these guys are great, right? And I've been wanting to see them wrestle on TV for a minute. And to me, these are the types of guys you want on AEW television wrestling like all the time because they're so good. You know what I mean? And so it's like Buddy Murphy was a guy that it's like they signed him 2 months ago or something. And it was like, yeah, I get doing the House of Black trio stuff, but you definitely should make an effort to feature him in singles bouts as much as possible. Aside, Pac is sensational. You know what this match felt like to me? It felt like two guys who never touched before that are really good, just coming up with a really, really solid, really good match like on the fly.
Yeah.
And as I saw it, I was thinking like, this is really good, and this is definitely not the best match they have in them. Like I think they could have an even greater match. The more that they work with each other, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Like I feel like the first time they ever go at it for like the I keep calling it the Mid Atlantic title. The All Atlantic title. I feel like the first time they go at it on a pay-per-view or something, they're gonna give them 20 minutes and it's gonna like be insane. So
yeah, of course. Listen, again, this talent pool is ridiculous. So like Chris said, this could easily turn into like the best thing about AEW within like a month or two. You know?
Oh yeah. Like how in ECW, like the sometimes the television title was better than the world title at certain points.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I feel like it could turn into that sort of thing.
It's the same. Well, it's funny because I was giving the identities that I see all these belts going, and it is that Heyman philosophy. I think it's the Heyman thing because it's like the ECW championship. A lot of times it was like Shane Douglas was hoarding the thing, and Chaz was doing the big chase, or certain other guys would be on it, and Paul Heyman would just kind of he would try to make each belt feel unique, and so therefore they're all special, and so the TV title's identity was this is going to be the best match on the show, and because again. Sometimes the best workers aren't necessarily the biggest stars or the biggest draws or the best talkers who can have engaging stories, but that doesn't mean that they don't have value to your product. The value of a Pac, maybe Pac's not quite the guy to lead your company, but the value of a Pac is that he's a damn fucking great wrestler. You know what I mean? And same with a Buddy Murphy and guys like that.
Yeah. Is that all? Chris, you want to say something on it?
Your thoughts on Murphy and Pac?
Pac did a top rope poison rana, so I gave it 4 stars. That's all.
Match.
Telling you, bro.
I also want to point out. I also want to put over that these guys are in tremendous shape. They look like freaking. They look like I don't even know how to explain it. They're like mini Hulks. They're like literally like this dude Buddy Murphy came out. He looked like 2002 Triple H.
Listen, I always say with Brian Cage, if they take a piss test, the cups are turning into mercury. Like that's how good in shape they are, bro. It's insane.
I think Pac's actually natural. Buddy Murphy is definitely on something. Buddy Murphy is definitely on something.
Well, Buddy Murphy,
they're definitely both on mutations and various.
Murphy is
nigga eating kryptonite.
Murphy, Matthews does work out at Brian Cage's gym, so I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised.
Bro, did you see Montez Ford on Raw? Did anyone see this?
Oh yeah, they are definitely.
Bro, he's been eating.
Bro, who's
Montez?
the fucking doctor from the steroid trial? They're giving him
Zorian?
the doctor from that. Yeah, Dr. Zorian. They're giving him the Zorian special, bro. Like that nigga, I don't know what he's on.
Listen, yeah, they look tremendous. They look like absolute athletes. It's funny, Monty. You know something that I always knows with Jim Ross. He anytime he sees, you already know. I feel like you know where I'm going with this, but
Yeah.
anytime he sees like a young wrestler who's just super jacked, right? Before he even sees him wrestle, he's like tremendous athlete. Tremendous athlete.
Tremendous athlete.
And so him seeing Buddy Murphy and Pac, it's funny because like they're doing certain things in a style that like if like certain other guys did it, Jim Ross, you could tell he'd be like not feeling it on commentary. But because they're just so they're like beasts. He's just like, what a wrestling match! What a wrestling match!
He had never seen a Steve Williams match in his life and was dick riding Steve Williams for 10 years.
Because he's a beast. And look, to be honest, the eye test is a real thing. And when you see Buddy Murphy and Pac standing across each other, you're like, damn. Like these
the funniest thing about this is that it's true.
Yeah, like
he'd love Madcap Moss.
Yeah.
Yes. He was like seeing Buddy Murphy, and he's like, Buddy matters. Like
a lot of these guys that are on these this test 2006 formula is just they're fucking. They don't look like they can wrestle, but then some of them when they go and wrestle, they fucking kill it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like a lot of those like jacked up guys of the past that look steroidy. Like a lot of them were shitty wrestlers, right? But like now you got brackets. But now the super workers are like looking like freaking mutants. You know what I mean? So yeah. What was the next one? Still Monty?
Eddie.
That promo was the best thing to that point of the show. Eddie Kingston's so funny because I honestly I get the feeling, man, Monty, that like he was told that he had to cut a promo 30 seconds before it ended up on TV, and it really felt like Tony was just like, all right, yo, Eddie, real quick, 1 minute, cut a promo on Jake Hager, and because Eddie just like because he is so anti like TV wrestling and sports entertainment and all that type of stuff, and he's so straightforward. Yeah, like you just get like the most genuine thing, and he didn't fully know where he was going. He just knew that he had to build to this match, and so he just went for it in a minute. And it was great.
He came out in a minute. He said, "Fuck the Jericho Appreciation Society. Fuck that other guy who wasn't even a part of them trying to come after me. Fuck off. I'm beating you up on Friday, and that's that." And I liked it.
And then he dragged the backstage.
The
off-camera guy.
I also like that. He was like he did the MJF thing from like last week, or like I forgot who's done it in the past.
Yeah, don't
call me down, dog. Don't call me down, dog. What are you doing? I feel like you know what I feel like he wanted to say. I feel like he wanted to say, "Hey, yo, nigga, don't call me down. Call me down, dog. Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
But
next we had who did we have? I think we had Trent.
Trent
Beretta in-ring promo.
Tony Khan wrote this show and said, let's give Trent Beretta, formerly of the Dude Busters, 5-minute promo segment.
Yo, hey, listen, here's the thing, man. Trent's a really good wrestler, right? But I was sitting there and like no joke, Monty, I was astonished when we came out of commercial break and I saw Trent in the ring with a mic. I was like, wait, what?
Well, you should have heard it. Bro, you should have heard it on Fight. While whatever was going on. I think it may have been the Buddy. It was probably the Buddy versus Pat match, obviously. While that was in picture on break for you guys, it came up in the corner like Trent Beretta in-ring promo. And JR was like, what does Trent want to talk about? It sounded so confused.
I mean, I get it because it felt like such a weird setup to just create. It felt like a convoluted setup to get to the match that they wanted to do. But once I realized like it was to shoot the angle that they wanted to shoot for Will Ospreay. Like I get it. Ospreay came out and Aussie Open attacked FTR, and that's leading to a 6-man on Rampage, which I'd imagine is like really, really good.
Hey yo, Hangman, real quick.
What's
Did
up?
you hear Will Ospreay was broke?
I don't want to talk about it, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that, but
Yeah, Ospreay came out. Is this ideally, in my mind, like the best way to debut Ospreay on AEW TV? Not
no.
really. Not really, to be honest with
Nigga,
you.
no,
Not really.
not against Trent. No, this is not my DZ shit. No disrespect against Trent Beretta, but not against fucking Trent Beretta.
It's not. Yeah, it's not even so much the match. It's just like
Mhm.
that's like you don't. Will Ospreay,
It
he's
feels
legit.
wrong.
Will Ospreay's a big deal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
especially while you're working with New Japan, like he's literally one of their like top
Yes.
3 guys.
Yeah.
Like I know the state of the main event in New Japan is kind of convoluted right now, but it's like he just main evented the Tokyo Dome this year, earlier this year.
I
He's
can't
coming
say
out
this
in
for
Trent
sure.
segments. Like it's
I
crazy.
can't say this for sure because I am aware of like New Japan's product. But I really get the feeling that like if you were just watching Dynamite every week and you don't watch New Japan and know who any of these guys are, I feel like the way they've been kind of popping up on these shows, I feel like you'd think that like New Japan's roster is just full of like jabronis, to be honest with you. They're just kind of,
It's crazy. Like I said, the way that they introduced Ospreay,
outside of
you can't just
Tanahashi.
hit people's music and let them walk out there, man. Like you got to like.
I mean,
Like the
thing is,
Tanahashi thing worked because it was with CM Punk, and it was
yeah.
like that's
And commentary went out of their way during the segment and afterwards to like really put over just how big of a deal he is.
Yes.
Look, the crowd did react to Ospreay coming out. Like, they popped and they just holy shit. But like Aussie Open, for example, it's like what is someone supposed to make of what they saw with them? You know what I mean? Like, just like if you don't watch Aussie, and I've seen a couple Rev Pro Aussie Open matches. They're really good workers, but it's like if you're just not really plugged in and tapped into these guys, it's like
admitting to watching Rev Pro in 2022 is crazy.
I did it for Gabriel Kidd.
Bro, I gave him money not long ago and didn't even go to the show. So
that's crazy.
I've been owned. So
I mean, you didn't want to be subjected to Michael Oku, so I understand. But the point is,
that's crazy.
I just look, I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to build to this show, really. Because it's like this is not a storyline based show. It's just a show to just do cool matches between promotions, right? But it's like, then how do you build to that on TV? And then it's like the people in the arena who buy tickets to AEW shows are gonna know the top 60% of New Japan's roster, right?
Yeah, and it's just like,
but like, I just wonder like how when it comes to the TV viewers, how much does that translate? And I'm not trying to pull like what some of these bozos were pulling online when in terms of like the discourse around like is Forbidden Door going to sell out and casuals and all that shit. I'm not pulling that, right? I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'm just saying though, like when it comes to presenting and debuting these guys and knowing how to feature them, I just don't know if what they're doing, which is just guys running out to attack guys, is exactly the best way to do it. I think maybe the next guy might need an announcement, maybe a package, and then they come out with Shivani or something. I don't know.
Yeah, bro, if they introduce Okada with some bullshit, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna write letters to Tony Khan.
He'll get the grand entrance, and everyone knows who he is. And
same with Shingo though, to be honest, and he's someone that I'd worry about. So.
You know what vibe this gives me? I know, like you remember the 2019 Survivor Series build when they were just like having random NXT guys coming on to the show, acting like everybody knew who the NXT guys was. Like that's what it gives me. It's like, okay, you can have the Undisputed Era comes out because I'm pretty sure not everybody, but a lot of people know who they are. But then you're having guys like fucking Dijakovic come out, and it's just like nobody knows who the fuck Dijakovic is. Like, so what are you doing?
I think that was actually slightly less egregious, only because like all those people are under the WWE banner, and like NXT was on television. You know what I'm saying? Like NXT was on television on the same exact channel that Raw is on, and it's like, you know, so but it isn't in line with that same type of thing. So
because it was like some of the guys that were doing the run-ins were getting pops, but it was some like of them, other guys. Everybody was just like, and that's what it kind of feels like with this whole New Japan thing. Like it's just some of it, like Okan and
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb. I forgot. Okan and Jeff Cobb, like they got sort of a pop, but it was everybody can tell. No disrespect to Okan, it was mostly for Cobb. So, yeah. But
what was next on the show?
Next on the show was Will Ospreay. 1 second. Will Ospreay, Regal. Kyle O'Reilly's backstage with Fish and Cole. Regal has some words for them. So yeah, that was just
basically
event.
William Regal, Lil Broing Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era, and just basically, man, you got this. Hey, Lil Bro, like you gonna do all right, but you gonna get your ass kicked. So that's what it felt like.
What was next in the show, Monty?
David Finley versus Hangman Adam Page.
Okay, so what I'll say about this is this: Finley comes off very unassuming and not star-like at all, and he kind of felt and came off like a jabroni. But and if I wasn't familiar with him, and I actually am, and I still think this, but I feel like if you weren't familiar with him, you'd be like, just like, who is this guy, right? But with that said, I did think this as a wrestling match was pretty damn well worked, and it finished right at the right time. Like there wasn't a buckshot kick out or nonsense like that. They just had a very well worked wrestling match that Hangman won. And that's just kind of all there is to it.
Well, Chris and I know the reason that nobody gave a fuck about who David Finley is. Because, nigga, it's just like, okay, David Finley, he's not the best worker in the world. He's an okay worker. But it's just like, if there was anybody else you could bring them over from New Japan to do that, there could have been anybody else. But it was a good match. Yeah. It was a good match.
It was fine, David Finley. I think Finley's actually pretty decent in ring, to be honest. It's just that like what Hollywood said, he just has no presence on AEW television whatsoever. And just throwing him out there to have a match with Hangman, like why not just do that with someone that's already on your roster? I get you building to the Forbidden Door show, but this didn't add anything to it by having David Finley on your TV. And like I said, David Finley's a pretty decent wrestler, man. But like I said, he's a nobody on AEW TV, so he
was where I will be
treated as such by the audience too. He came out to no reaction.
Here's where I will be selfish. If they are gonna throw some just random New Japan guys to just wrestle on TV, I don't know how this builds to anything or adds to the show from a drawing standpoint, but just selfishly, just as a viewer, I would like to see people like the LA Dojo guys wrestle on TV a little bit.
Yeah, get me some Ren Narita on AEW.
Give me some Ren. Throw Kevin Knight in the tag somewhere. Give me Clark Connors. Especially, I'd love to see Yuya Uemura wrestle on TV.
Yes, it's just like, bro, don't forget New Japan Strong and
LA
Dojo.
Is Chris talking? Because I'm not. I haven't heard him in like 30 minutes.
I don't think
just saw his mouth moving.
I don't think he said anything in the last 20 minutes. But it's like, don't forget, bro, the LA Dojo and the New Japan Strong guys, they're New Japan guys too.
Yes, and they're really good.
Yeah, like if Tom Lawler has a match at Forbidden Door, then wow. Because I want to see him have a match. But
I was about to skip over. So yeah, after the match, Hangman cut a promo, and like I said, he alluded to basically just being excluded by the company from the Battle Royal, and I wonder where that's leading to. Like, are we subtly building to like Tony Khan just being a heel or an AEW being?
I hope not, bro, because he can't. I think he might just be losing it a bit. Hangman promo as well, like that, the way that he said, like you're alluding to, the way that he said, he's like, I guess I'm not getting a title shot anytime soon. And it's like, why?
Confusing.
Why? Tell me, why would you not in the Battle Royal, man? Like, Battle Royal. Tell me.
I understand Wardlow's character being like, I just think interim titles are bullshit. And so I'm okay with if your main stars aren't in the match because they don't want to be in for whatever reason. I'm okay with that as long as they're voicing that. And Wardlow explained himself why he wasn't in it. With Hangman, he said he was excluded, and so again, I mean, sure, absolutely, but again, I see that, and I'm just like, okay, so what is the intention here? Are you trying to lead to Tony Khan and AEW being the assholes that screw people over? And then if that's the case, to what end and goal is that for? So that remains to be seen. But he alluded to having a match with Okada, and I mean, man, like Okada and Hangman Page would have like a phenomenal wrestling match. Like that would be like fucking incredible.
And then what happened, Hangman? And
then Adam Cole interrupted, and he ruined my fantasy. He ruined my boner because he
we saw that happen live in the group chat.
Yeah, and he just kind of stuck his nose in it. And all I'll say, everybody, is Hangman Page versus Okada versus Cole is not as good of a wrestling match as Okada versus Hangman Page.
I don't think that's unpopular to say.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna.
I never know what y'all, bro. But I just that's how I see it.
I don't like Adam Cole.
It's not even like okay. I like Cole. It's just.
There's no need. There's no need.
Yeah, it's like
there's no need. I don't even want to talk about this.
Yeah.
That rumor of him being inserted in a match, low key made me fucking throw up. That shit stinks.
Someone said in the chat, people would have gone crazy if Hangman was in the battle royal and didn't go over. No, they wouldn't have.
Yeah,
it's a battle royal.
Yeah. I listen. Every main event star should want the AEW championship,
and should have been in that battle royal.
And if he's in the match, right, and somebody gets him out, there's always a story to tell with him just failing to succeed there. You know, I wouldn't complain. Like I'll let you guys know this. Yes, there's wrestling fans that will complain about everything, right? Some complaints are justified. Some are people just complaining about shit that makes no sense, right? And so I understand, like, some people thinking like you guys would whine if they did A, B, and C. I'll tell you guys first and foremost, when it comes to me personally, I'm very pro logic, I'm very pro sense, and I'm very pro main eventers wanting the top thing that main eventers should want in the promotion. So again, you know, that whole like I'm not a believer in overprotecting main event stars, because then you start fucking trying to overthink the room, and then you end up just doing a lot of stupider booking things than you would have gotten if just a main eventer just got pinned by another main eventer. You know what I mean? And this wouldn't even been this would not have even been Hangman getting pinned. It's a battle royal. You could always have 3 people pull him, throw him over or some shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world.
Easy to put people in a battle royal.
Yeah. Easy. Regarding Cole in Forbidden Door, like I'd rather you could just do like, why don't you just do Los Ingobernables versus like the Super Click or some shit like that? That's totally fine. Is that not? Like I don't know why.
I think this is what you're gonna do, right?
What's up?
This is what I think they're gonna do, right? I think.
What happened, Chris?
I think Jay White's gonna show up in a couple weeks, and I think it'll be Adam Cole and him will be in the ring together, and then I don't know why Pride. I think Jay White might give him a fucking Blade Runner or some shit, and they might have a match at Forbidden Door or a Bullet Club versus Elite thing.
I have no problem with Jay White versus Adam Cole.
I do.
Really?
That sounds stinky. That sounds bad.
I'm trying to be nice.
That sounds not good.
I'm trying to be nice.
If Adam Cole's the face in that, then I could.
Yeah.
I can live with that. I can definitely live with that.
Who do you guys want Shingo to work with on this show?
Wardlow.
No.
I wanted him to face Hangman, but Hangman's getting Okada.
Yo, Hangman Shingo would be just fucking galactic. That shit would be crazy, bro.
Shingo wrestles like he's got a chip on his shoulder all the time. I genuinely have him wrestle pretty much anyone good, and he's going to go out there and he's going to try and steal the show, because that's kind of like just the way he wrestles. He has these epics. And he can work. He can genuinely work with anyone. Like he proved that when he was just the past couple of years, to be honest. Put him in there with anyone. Put him in there with a flyer. Put him in there with a powerhouse. Put him in there with a technician. Put him in there with anyone. Like he's gonna give you pretty much the best out of them that he can get. He genuinely is that good. It's weird though, because I think on this card, he's not the same. On this card, he's not the same like priority level as like a Tanahashi and Okada, and even a Jay White, because of all the Bullet Club Elite stuff. I hope he doesn't. I don't know. I hope he gets a singles match, but I'm not too much expecting it.
I do hope. I know a lot of people expect this to be like 3 featured singles matches and then a bunch of multi-mans. If they could slip a couple more, like it'd be great because like there's a high potential of just really great matches.
Chris, you said you thought he was gonna be in the what is it called? The All Atlantic tournament?
Chris, you need to leave and come back in.
Leave and come back.
Get out of here.
Oh wait, what if they put him in the All Atlantic tournament? And what if we get a Dragon Gate rematch? What if we do Pac and Shingo in the final?
It's a 4-way in the final, bro.
Yeah, it's 4-way.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it stinks, bro.
Really? Bro, yes.
What?
Yes, it's Malachi versus Penta. It's Pac versus Buddy, which you just saw last night. It's Miro versus. Yeah, I know, bro. I know.
I fucking hate 4-ways, man.
Chris.
I wish you guys could see my face. Like, I didn't realize that. I didn't even notice.
Yes, bro. Like, okay, so Chris tweeted something about it last night, and I was like, "Nah, bro. Pac and Malachi in the final. We here, nigga. Let's go."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Nah." And everybody came, bro. And the amount of dick eaters that came in the comments, but no, they came in my comments like, "Nah, bro. It's a 4-way," and I was like, "Huh? What do you mean?"
I didn't know that. That's slightly disappointing because like, yes, like 4 of those guys are gonna have a great match, but I prefer a more focused singles match, to be honest with you.
Yes, like bro, like Pac versus Shingo or Pac versus Malachi, which is the match we should have gotten. Not should have gotten at Double or Nothing, but like we should have gotten by now. Like,
yeah.
That would be way more interesting than whatever this 4-way is they're going for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So. I agree.
Yeah.
Give Shingo anybody basically. Honestly would rather him stay away from the 4-way. I'd genuinely rather him in an LOJ fucking tag match.
That's crazy. So what happened? What we got next, Monty?
What we got next?
Wait. Do you want to wait for Chris to come back to give his point, or is he even back yet?
No, he's not. He's not here.
Fuck it.
That's funny.
Yo, David Finley versus Hangman Adam Page. I think we already spoke about that.
Yes, we did.
Good match.
Yeah, it was fine.
Is he back yet? Is he backstage? Let me check.
Yeah, he's back. He's just came back this second. Here he is.
Okay.
Do you have anything you want to say about David Finley versus Hangman Adam Page or Adam Page's promo after the match, Chris?
No.
He should have not said a word. It would have been funny. Just the shaking head visual would have been the funniest thing.
I think we got to Marina. We went to Marina versus Rosa.
We don't have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about that.
No. Yeah, I'm good. I'm so good on that.
Okay.
Marina's not good.
Tony Storm comes off like a star. She looks great. I really like.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's just the backstage segment that you tweeted.
Oh, we just thought. Oh, I thought. Wait, what happened?
the backstage segment that you tweeted about.
Oh yeah.
Rosa issues an open challenge and
Shafir interrupted, and I don't know why there was like this really overt sexual energy to the entire segment. I don't know if it was meant to be as hot as it was, but that was interesting. I don't have much to say about the match itself. I don't really see it in Marina Shafir. I don't think she's had a great run on television at the moment. She kind of was just her run so far has been like these shortened packages on TV building her up to Jade, and then we got the match. And, like, people did not care about that because why would they? They had no reason to. And now she kind of went against Rosa, and
it's because people were lying during Mania weekend after her Bloodsport match, bro. It was just like Marina's good. She's gotten so much better. And
I said it earlier, bro. People tell me she has good matches on Dark all the time, but.
Right, and
here's the thing.
I don't want to shit on the woman either, because
she's
like new and green and stuff, so it feels kind of unfair. But
I
Still.
just
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it.
What I'll just say is that it doesn't. She doesn't work right now, and they're gonna have to figure out how to make her work, or otherwise just put people on TV that do work at the moment. Thunder Rosa, I really like Thunder Rosa. I personally, I'm a fan of La Mera Mera. I enjoy her. I think that I would like her to be involved in exciting things that feel like they matter. And
Yes.
I like the idea of her just challenging people in open challenges.
Mhm.
But I can't say this was particularly inspiring. I think Tony Storm, like I said, I like Tony Storm a lot. I think she comes off as a star. They clearly are setting up a program with her and Thunder Rosa. That is interesting in the sense that like Tony could, I don't think she would, but she could realistically win the championship there. So curious where that goes. I hope in the lead up to that match they do like interesting things though.
Yeah, I really hope so, man.
I really hope.
Because like you said, Tony, like she does have that star presence so far in AEW.
Yeah.
She gets the reactions and stuff. Obviously, we probably would have liked to have seen a beat Brittany in the tournament. I think pretty fair to say for everyone in here at least. But there is a real chance she could win this bout. Even if she doesn't, it should still be like Thunder Rosa's best program in a minute. And yeah, man, it should be all right. So.
Yeah, Chris, you ready to tell the truth? I'm telling the truth.
All right, listen, I'll say this: Marina's not a good worker. I don't know. She should be in the fucking lab with her husband, since he's one of the, her husband's a
the best in the planet.
Worker. Yeah, he's training fucking green ass college kids to put on 3.5-star matches. But I think I don't know. This is a hot take. I've always had this take. I don't think Thunder Rosa is as good as we made her out to be. I know she hasn't been given the best material. I understand that. But I feel like, I don't know, there's something about her that just doesn't click for me personally. That when all this stuff comes out that she's not happy with the TV time she's getting, and she's having these matches that I just don't think are good. And I think Tony Storm should beat her. Like, I don't know, have that shock title and just have Tony beat her. I think Tony's a way better worker. More. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish, and then I'll defend Thunder Rosa after you're done.
Yeah, I think she's great. Like she has a great appeal to the audience. She has great attire, but I think there's something about her presence, other than her attire, that just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know what it is. And I think me personally, maybe it's because I hyped her up too much. Because when she was having those matches with Deeb and Sheeta during the pandemic, I was like, she's really better than the whole roster. But I just don't see it with her at the moment. I'm sure the Tony match would be great because the Serena Deeb match was great. But I would not be mad, and I'm kind of rooting for Tony to beat her.
I am a believer in Thunder Rosa. I think that it would just not be a fair shake if she lost her championship already, because it's like she really hasn't been able to just be a part of like really interesting things. The way I would defend her, Chris, is just that like I think you can make most people worth a shit interesting depending on how you utilize them and position them. And when it comes to her, it's like, dude, there's a big difference between how like she's been booked and featured and like a Wheeler Yuta, for example, because Wheeler Yuta was in the scheme of AEW a nothing guy a couple months ago, right? But they made him matter, and they made you care about him. And yeah, you have to be talented to kind of make it work. But like, look at what they did there, right? They told a story. He wanted to join the BCC. He had all these really spirited efforts against guys that were above him, and eventually he made it in. That's how you make people care. We look at Wardlow. Wardlow was not much of anything before AEW started, and through long-term storytelling and just putting him in position to just be interesting, they've made him a superstar. Look at the angles they've done with the security and this and that. I think it's up to the promoter to see what are the best qualities of their talents and then just feature them in the best light. And with Thunder Rosa, I think that she's likable. I think that she can connect with people, and I think she has a certain charisma to her. And I think it's just you got to put her in position to just come off like a badass woman, because I do think she's a badass woman. And so I don't know if that's maybe more promo time. I don't know if that's just more physical angles. I don't know whatever it is, but if you just kind of phone it in with the presentation of people and just go, okay, a video package here, a backstage interview here, and then a match. It's hard sometimes to make people care. Now, am I going to argue your point, Chris, that like she's like, whatever you want to say, the greatest worker in the world? I mean, that's your subjective opinion. I'm not going to argue against that, right? But all I'm going to say is that it's just not exactly a fair shake to give up on her without at least trying to try to put her in place to do more interesting, exciting things on the show.
Yeah, man. Thunder Rosa. I think she's a really fiery, charismatic babyface. I love Thunder Rosa. Yeah, she's been booked like shit, man. Let's just call it how it is. She's been booked like shit with the championship, to be honest. She's barely been on TV. She hasn't been involved in any like heavily featured feuds. All of her segments have either been the 2 minutes on stage with Tony Schiavone or backstage. And, like we've already said, hopefully this Tony Storm, the ideal situation for me is that this Tony Storm feud is heavily featured, and it's the most heavily featured women's program on the show, it should be.
The tough thing is like
Rosa goes over.
The tough thing is Jade is a big personality, and so it's kind of easier to kind of feature her a little bit. And Tony Storm isn't much of a talker, and they're both baby faces, so it's like I could easily see this going down a road where like it has just the most just bland build. You know what I'm saying? Like it easily could. Like it easily just could be like the most standard thing. But if they could find a way to get some heat with the story somehow, some way, if they could find a way to get some genuine heat in the storyline and some stakes.
Does no one do any cool angles anymore, man? Like,
I mean, but we do get
just do something like off premises. What does everything have to be like some backstage bullshit? Like, why can't they just do
I totally agree.
Not go full Russo and like have a fucking cheat on a boyfriend or some bullshit. Do you know what I mean? But just do something. Like wrestling's so boring now in that sense. Anyway.
Yeah. That's the thing. They don't want to go full sports entertainment, but I do think sometimes making up kayfabe situations to make a story interesting. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't think, like, I say this all the time, I don't think they should go, like, full on, like, oh, you fucked my boyfriend or some shit like that, type of weird shit, but it's just, like, do something that would make us, like, care. Like, you don't have to go full on, like, B+ movie with it, just...
And again, to what Chris said, like, I get where Chris is coming from, but I think that, it's like, if you just give up on anything that just doesn't hit after a month, then like it's just not fair to certain people. There's some people that it's like you don't need to do too much to make them work because they're just so inherently fantastic, right? You don't really have to give MJF that much guidance, right? You don't have to give CM Punk or certain guys. Or certain guys are just such great wrestlers that it's like inherently you could just kind of let them be, right? But certain guys, it's like, nah, man. So sometimes you have to tinker with the formula and see what's the winning way to get them right. Imagine if AEW gave up on Miro when he was still with Kip Sabian. So like sometimes you just got to tinker with things and figure out what's the best way to feature somebody.
You just brought up a world that a lot of people don't even remember. That's crazy.
Because that's the truth about wrestling, man. Sometimes you think someone's no good because you only see them a certain way, and then they use them a different way, and it's like, no, this person's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Thunder Rosa. I think Thunder Rosa could definitely be improved, and I think that it would be a disservice to her to just end her championship reign after 2 months.
So next up we had the Wardlow promo, which I thought was fascinating. He said he don't want the interim title. He basically buried the interim title. Said he was going to wait for Punk to get back until he's hurt, and he's happy to wait. And then said in the meantime he's going to change his sights to the TNT Championship, who also has a champion that is hurt right now. Yeah.
I saw somebody.
Wardlow delivered the one thing about Wardlow that I really I like. Obviously, as Hangman said earlier, before he came into the company, he was a nobody, and it's all well and good getting his presentation right and letting him powerbomb niggas and fucking, you know, he looks the part of that. But he can actually cut a promo as well, to be fair. His delivery was fine, and it's just the content of what he said was just like... I'm a big logic guy when it comes to wrestling. And it's just like, I think that's why I have so many gripes with this particular episode. It looks like Wardlow is probably going to win the TNT Championship. He's going against 20 security guards next week or some shit. That'll be a pop.
Oh,
it's ridiculous, but it'll be a pop.
I think I'm really looking forward to that. I think that genuinely could be a match of the year candidate, depending on how it's done. And yeah, I'm not even joking. But I swear to God,
star for every powerbomb.
Yes, like if it's like suplex this guy, powerbomb that guy, lariat this guy, double choke slam to the other guy, like it could legitimately.
He's bright red.
Like
also, isn't it elimination like that one Raw match where?
Oh man, that'll be so. If it is that's gonna be so awesome. I gotta be honest. I saw some people kind of mad that like Wardlow voiced on screen like just his displeasure with the interim belt and saying that like it buries the belt and stuff. Maybe this isn't the best thing for business because it's a valid opinion, and then you're basically validating a criticism of your product. So I can understand that, but I'm okay with different characters on a program having different feelings on things. You know, I don't think everybody has to feel the same way about everything, and if they voice it, You know, I'm okay with that. That's why I said earlier. You know, if a top guy isn't in the match, but they tell you why they're not in the match, and it was their decision, then I can respect that. I can understand and respect the character of Wardlow being like, you know, just a meathead who's like, I want the real thing, you know. So I'm not really negative on that, to be honest.
It's first shot at the real thing. Oh, that's my whole thing. Like, the logic of it it was very much lost on me. Like I said, he wants the real thing, even though the Battle Royal would have led to a match against Moxley, which would have led to the real thing. Do you know what I mean? So like,
sure.
Just like I said, I'm a big logic guy, and that's probably why I've been so grumpy about this episode. But yeah, man, like I said, Wardlow's a tank. He's a savage. I love the guy. Awesome. Next week's segment could possibly be an all-timer.
The main event.
Yeah, man. Like I said, the logic weren't really hitting for me.
What was next, Monty? The main event?
Was it? No, I think next would probably be the Marina thing.
Oh no,
it wasn't.
Oh, we didn't. We didn't talk.
The backstage.
Yeah,
of the Young Bucks,
I was gonna say.
Christian
and
poor Jeff Hardy. He's gonna have to be in another ladder match.
Yeah, so obviously backstage, I think it was in it was portrayed like it was in, you know, it was in like the Bucks' room, and you know everyone barges in there, you know, bit of back and forth, and Christian of all people, who's obviously with, you know, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, he sets up the match, a ladder match between Hardy Boys, the Young Bucks, and Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy was kind of in the background, confused while Christian was doing this to him.
I have the best question that could be asked out of this situation to you guys. Counting next week, how many more swantons off really tall ladders will Jeff Hardy do this year on AEW programming? Give me an estimate.
I don't know if we're gonna get a Jeff spot, man. Maybe I'm crazy.
You're crazy. He's gonna do a swanton off a long ladder. You're out of your mind.
He is going. Listen, Jeff Hardy is going to go.
I know he's in pain, bro. Maybe they'll just let someone else do it.
No.
What is Darby did it? They done it literally the other day with Darby.
Monty, what is Jeff's purpose in this match if he's not going to swanton off a long ladder?
Jeff is going to go up there 30 feet in the air and do a swanton through 2 ladders, bro.
And go, and do the pose and then do the swanton.
He's just going to turn, bro. He's just going to turn into dust when he hits the ground.
Chris Loki also like slave trader energy, bro. That nigga TK scooped Jeff Hardy's body off the ground and said, "Hey, you good for next week, little bro? I'm gonna need you to dive off another ladder, little nigga. Like I'm gonna need you to do that squat time, little bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to get that done.
I mean, y'all niggas want to see y'all niggas want to see Jeff Hardy in a collar and tie lockup, bro? Or do you want to see this?
I'm not saying what I want to see. I'm just saying, like, yo, Poor Jeff, man. Poor
I
Jeff.
tweeted this. I tweeted this around the time of the private
Tony
party.
can supply him with some perks.
I'm telling you right now.
God,
I'm telling you right
crazy.
now. Listen,
Bro,
Jeff's,
we're talking about Jeff Hardy.
You know what's funny? Someone tweeted that. Someone said that. I think at this point in current state in time, like Jeff's probably better served in a ladder match than a regular match because he just. And when I think about it, it's like instead of having to just wrestle and move really awkwardly while you're wrestling, you're just kind of coming in for your spot where you just do a dive. It hurts really bad. You ice it up in the back. You perk up, and then you just do it next month. And to a degree, it feels like Jeff is a circus animal, and like the humanitarian side of me feels really weird about all that. But I do know for sure that he's gonna do a big spot in the match.
Yeah, I said this. Yeah, I think I was probably the one that said it. Oh, you were saying something, Chris? No, I mean, what I was gonna say is really short. I was the one that tweeted. I was like, bro, y'all niggas gotta understand that Jeff can't do these 20-minute barn burner FTR versus fucking anybody, Young Bucks versus anybody fucking 20-minute barn burners anymore, bro. You gotta understand, Jeff is going through a ladder, Matt's going through a table, and that's how it's just gonna be. Like,
he never could.
He never
could.
I always say this. I always say that.
He did. I mean, go ahead.
Jeff Hardy is the most popular wrestler I've ever seen that has like 2 or 3 substantial wrestling moves to his arsenal.
I mean,
it's the crazy shit.
I think Jeff Hardy at his best.
Hardy's when the first blew up were very like good. Like they weren't just like ladder match merchants. Really. At that time when they were blowing up those matches, they were actually having like really great matches.
All the time. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that like the Hardy Boys of the Attitude Era were a good tag team that without stipulations could have good tag team matches, and they used the stipulations to have great matches. If that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Jeff used to really we all talk about like Jeff's high spots and stuff, but he used to just take these insane bumps. You know, like kind of like how Darby does. Like he'll just splat on the floor like on the outside.
Here's a good example. No Way Out 2000, the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian had a standard tag match, and Jeff Hardy ran across the barricade, like he was kind of he was like tight walking the barricade.
I know what you're talking about.
Ran all the way around like the semicircle of it, and then jumped off of it. And then Edge jumps off the others, like off the top of his side of the barricade that he's standing on, and speared him like flat on the floor.
Yo, nah, bro. He used to do those spots. Like there was one with him and Steve Blackman, where he would go up on the barricade, run across, and Steve Blackman would catch him, run up, and do a backdrop off of it, dog. Like Jeff never gave a shit. Like him and Christian, they would always in the ladder match, and they get thrown off the ladder, like just go straight over the top rope. Don't get
Jeff
hooked
used
on
to
it.
take crazy bumps to the outside, man. Like even when someone would throw him out the ring through the middle rope, and he would just take a flat back. Like it was crazy.
I just popped massively because I looked that up to see if I could find something, and the first thing I see, WWF SmackDown, March 9, 2000, Jeff Hardy versus Steve Blackman.
Yeah, that match is really actually like really fun.
I'm sure.
It's dog. But this whole thing where we want him to have great matches anymore, I'm sorry, it's gonna hurt a lot of y'all. It's not happening, dog. It's not happening.
It's not his purpose anyway. You know? As long as he can as he can still pull off a whisper in the wind.
I don't think Tony Khan signed Jeff Hardy with the intention of him being Bryan Danielson at all. I think he just wants the Hardys to be the Hardys. You know, as much as they can.
Yeah, because I've never looked at Jeff Hardy as like a guy that can have a match like Balor versus Spinner, like those strong style British hold for hold type moves. I've never seen him as that type of guy. Like, he's a Jeff Hardy. He's gonna do a flip here. He's gonna do a jump there, twist of fate here, and he's gonna get out.
Yes.
Jeffrey's a good seller. Someone said.
Yeah. What's up? Yeah.
I think at his peak, he actually did become a pretty good wrestler. Like just outside of just like fucking, cool, crazy moves. I do think he did become a good wrestler. But again, that's just not what he's here for. He's physically incapable of doing it anyway. He's here to pop people with nostalgia for the Hardy Boys, and I think that's fine. I think Tony's realizing though that the only way to make it work is in plunder matches. But the question is, can Jeff's body hold up to continually do them?
Yeah.
And,
It's the thing.
and what's
It's the thing is how
and also
often he is,
hold
man.
on. And also, what's going to be the storyline excuse for doing basically a street fight or a no DQ or a ladder match every 3 weeks?
Because
You know
they're
what I
the
mean?
Hardys. That's literally
Yeah.
that's why
all.
they do it as well. It's like Christian even said it's like, oh, it's a match we made famous. Let's do a ladder match, and it's just like, well, fuck. Like, it's the fucking Hardys. So
Well,
Yeah, I'm
and
cool.
also people let it go because it's like it's one of those things where it's like if you complain, you have to ask yourself, would I rather watch the Hardys in this match or in a regular match? And because the answer is always the crazy match, it's like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, as long as the Bucks win
Chris,
next
what?
week. As
The
long
Bucks
as
should win. The Bucks should win.
As long as they win next week, I don't care. If the Hardys, I don't really care if Jurassic Express wins. I want them to win, but them Hardys better not fucking touch them belts, bro.
They're not.
oh,
Yeah,
I
so
don't
Bucks
know.
should
You
win.
know.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
I would
Listen,
look at Tony.
listen, I'd be. Listen, you Rob and Chris wouldn't want to be on here next
Yeah,
week.
I was gonna say don't come on, bro. Don't come on. Don't come on.
I would, bro. I would look at Tony so fucked up. I'd be like, bro,
Nah, Monty.
what you got going on here?
Monty, I already set it up. Next week is Rob and Chris are gonna be on hiatus for Thursday. They're gonna have to have a different day because it's gonna be me, you, and Israel, and we'll talk about that later. But yeah.
Yeah, but the Bucks should win.
Monty's
Then
Go ahead,
It's
Chris.
gonna be me and Israel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I can if y'all need me to, I can do some of the WWE shit because I watch it with Chris. What were you saying?
I actually think this
Watch
week's
WWE,
2.0.
nigga?
I actually think this week's 2.0 was legitimately review worthy, but that's
Yeah,
neither
it
here nor
was.
there.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't bad at all. But next in AEW, let's just finish this off because we're in so much time. So, Marina Shafir versus Thunder Rosa. I thought it was quite lifeless.
Didn't we already talk about this?
Didn't we already talk about this?
We spoke about the promo, and then we went on to Marina Shafir. Did we talk about the match?
See, your brain was just like deleting all.
That's because I'm going through the order on the site, so I know for sure we talked about Rosa and we spoke about the backstage break. Backstage segment.
We all gave our thoughts on this whole thing.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say it was lifeless.
I want to say real quick, Rob. I'm watching Jeff Hardy versus Steve Blackman, and this match is kind of awesome.
It is.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. This match is kind of awesome.
It's great, bro. It's so good, dog.
Listen. Let's keep on track.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
We got Jay Cargill backstage with the baddies. Yeah. Bivens talk. Bivens half away.
That was a segment.
I love the baddies.
Yeah, it was. It was just to set up the match with Chris Statlander and Red Velvet on Friday, I believe. Was it? I think it's Friday. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah.
No, Rob. There's nothing to talk about here. No, Rob.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, just move on.
I'm saying, yeah. Like, is the main event after this, or like, is there another segment?
Yeah, no, there's a main event. I think the main event. John Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly. I'll start, but
I was not,
about a 20-second backstage thing, like
Kyle O'Reilly, John Moxley, to see who's going on to Forbidden Door to face Hiroki Goto.
I think we should save Chris for last since he's probably gonna cook here. But what I'll say, yeah, he's definitely gonna cook. So I'm gonna let him go last. But in regards to Kyle O'Reilly, like he's at his best when he can have these really physical MMA style, never open weight, technical, gritty wrestling matches, which is why he does so well with like Katsuyori Shibata. He does great with Finn Balor. He's really good at that type of style where it's almost like it's like kind of shoot style, but it's also just technical wrestling and it's like really physical. He's really good with that. He's super tenacious, and to me this was like the best match he's had since his match with Finn Balor on NXT. I thought this was by leaps and bounds his best match in AEW. and it's like not even close. Like his previous singles outing, the Phoenix match was good, but before that, like the Jungle Boy match, like that was
The
like
Derby match was good, man.
Oh, that was good too. That was good too. See, I'm Kyle's kind of he's getting himself back into form, so to speak. He's doing well. The one negative, and it is what it is, because frankly, very clearly, we've seen the AEW audience doesn't care about this, and they don't mind. But I'm looking at O'Reilly and Moxie standing in the ring, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like a world title level situation, nor does Kyle feel like a guy worthy of that stature because of his positioning. But with that said, from a wrestling standpoint, like this was sensational. I thought this match was like fantastic. It was getting better and better, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn, like I can't even talk shit. Like this is just a tremendous and not only was it tremendous, as I'm sitting there, because Monty, like to be honest, like throughout a lot of this Dynamite show, I was more bored more than anything. I was just like bored rather than like mad or upset or excited or what. I was just bored, right? And when this came on, like it was like I just thought like, man, Jon Moxley is carrying AEW right now. Like in the absence of a lot of these guys like Danielson and Punk, like it makes sense that he's the guy they throw it on, because God, like during the pandemic, that's what they did. There was a lot of turmoil with the roster and the product, and he basically put the company on his back, right? And was the champion that they needed at the time. And so it only makes sense that like he's basically old reliable to do it again. You know?
He does.
Yeah.
He's a real ace.
The last thing I'll say, does anybody remember? So remember how the first CM Punk tease was when Darby Allin said, like, even if you're the best in the world.
Yeah.
The next week on Dynamite, Jon Moxley cut a promo where he basically said, like, I was the guy who navigated this company through deep waters, through empty buildings, through this and that. And there was heavy implications that he basically was going like, there's people here who will, will bask in the glory, so to speak, like when everything is great. When things are on sunshine and rainbows, like that's when they go to Jon Moxley. I noticed he said that. And
yeah.
I feel like ever since last year, that was a subtle build to the narrative that's going to be between him and Punk. And I think it makes so much sense now when Punk comes back for him to kind of play that angle of just like, listen, man, again, it's like they relied on me to hold this shit together, and you're going to come back and just think this is yours and da-da-da-da-da. So I just think that's interesting. And again, it occurred to me again during that main event. Someone's playing like their TV in the background or something.
Rob.
Jesus Christ. I was going to say, so yeah, again, it just stood out to me again during the O'Reilly match. Like, man, Moxley is carrying this promotion on his back. Who better than him, right? That's kind of just how
my whole thing on it, and I'm gonna let Chris cook, is just it was a great match.
Yeah.
And just it goes to show like what the fuck these two guys are capable of. Like, goddamn, dog, Kyle is so fucking good, man. He deserved a lot better than what he got. The fucking whole shitty Adam Cole feud throughout the summer that happened last year. It's just like he deserved a lot better than that.
He was supposed to be elevated by that. It was just a bad program.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just, and then fucking Moxley's the wrestler of the year. I don't care. Cry. Wrestler of the year. Like putting on bangers with Lawler, putting on fucking bangers with just anybody. He'll literally just wake up in the morning, get an indie booking, and says, "All right, I'll go do this," or get a New Japan booking and say, "All right, I'll go do this." Like. So whether it's Goto or Tanahashi, which I'm hoping is Tanahashi, no disrespect to Goto.
Of course it's going to be Tanahashi. Come on.
Yeah.
Could you imagine it's Hiroki Goto and Tanahashi for the AEW Interim Championship?
Main event.
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
Because niggas be on my ass like I'm disrespecting Goto, and I'm like, he's not bad.
Goto.
Right, right, dog.
Like, what are we talking about?
Right, but so. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Great match.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, go. Yeah. You know what? Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me good? Let me make sure.
Yes, sir.
You're good.
You're the main event. You're the main event of the podcast today, man. Cook.
I'll say this first. Jon Moxley is also my wrestler of the year. What the fuck happened?
What the hell just happened?
Was that on purpose?
I was gonna let you cook, man.
No, go ahead, yeah, put him back solo, put him back dolo. Go ahead.
All right, let me say this first. John Moxley is my rest of the year, right? I think he's a dog too, straight out the fucking pound. But Kyle O'Reilly, I'm tired of niggas disrespecting Kyle O'Reilly, bro. This nigga's more than just Adam Cole's monkey, bro. He's the best member of the Undisputed Elite, bro. He's that nigga. He's a dog, straight out the pound. Uncaged, nigga. Nigga, you see that nigga do penalty kicks, jumping knees, headbutts, making niggas bleed, bro. John Moxley didn't even have to blade this day. Because that nigga Kyle's like, hey, I got you hard way, little bro. Kicks, punches, elbows, rolling elbows, regular elbows. He's him. He's one of the best in the world. As soon as he got that NXT stink off him, that nigga went to Tony Khan. Oh, why are they pushing Kyle O'Reilly? What did he see? That nigga Kyle went to Tony Khan. He said, hey, look, TK, I can carry this shit, my nigga. He said, hey, look, TK, put me in the big lights. Put the fucking spotlights on. Give me main events. Give me openers. Mid-title, mid-card, main event, all that. Because he's him. KOR. Nigga. Dog. That's all.
Nigga, Michael Vick is jealous, nigga.
That's crazy.
Speak, nigga. Michael Vick's wet dream, nigga.
That's crazy.
Oh,
yeah, man.
Was that really the main event of the podcast? Because we did have the Roman shit to talk about too.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna say, what
are talk Roman, because there isn't too much news, but obviously the Roman thing is a pretty big deal. Everyone's been talking about it, moaning about it fairly all day. So the news is Roman Reigns is apparently now reportedly scheduled to miss Money in the Bank. This news came from Justin Barrasso from Sports Illustrated. It was then later confirmed by Dave Meltzer. So yeah, it looks like we're getting no Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank. Apparently, we're not getting him until SummerSlam. He may wrestle on TV before then, but we don't know that. Yeah, man, it's been.
I got some things to say about this.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone has, man, because it's not good. It's objectively not good. So
yeah, I'll let Hangman go first. Yeah, Hangman, you go first.
I like Roman Reigns, right? And when they said that the decision was going to be made to unify the championships, I wasn't clamoring for that to happen, but my mindset was, well, if this puts him on Raw regularly along with SmackDown to help Raw's ratings and add star power, then that's a good thing, right? But for them to essentially take both world titles of their company, combine them, and then we don't have any of them for either show for 3 months? Like that's like obscene. Like, because here's the thing: people used to complain about Brock Lesnar, you know what I mean, taking time off. He would leave one brand without a world title. We now have 2 brands without a world title. Like, that's just so egregious to me. And there's no justification for it. And it makes me wonder, like, was this Roman, like, this new deal that he apparently signed where his schedule is reduced? Like, did he come up with this after they decided to kind of give him both belts? And if so, like, man, to me, I would have made moves to at least get one of them off of him before we started doing this like part-time Roman stuff. Like, listen, to me, it's like people came at me on Twitter for saying that this is ridiculous, and all I'll say is, like, some of the defenses was Roman can't get a break. He doesn't deserve a break. Roman Reigns can get all the breaks he wants, but he shouldn't be able to take 2 world titles with him on his break. Why is he taking both world championships on vacation with him?
It's not even really on Roman either, I don't think.
It's on the promotion. It's on the promotion to get the belts off of him.
It goes back months. Like, it goes all the way back to the hot shotting of day one when the hot shotted the WWE title onto Brock Lesnar. From that moment, it's just then you get the unification at WrestleMania because of that. Like, in my opinion, Big E should still be WWE champion right now, and he shouldn't be on the shelf with a broken neck. But that's a completely other story. What I honestly think happened with Money in the Bank, and maybe I'm being a bit naive and giving WWE the benefit of the doubt, I think they did genuinely make a miscalculation on how many tickets they were going to sell for Money in the Bank. They assumed it was going to be a stadium show. So, Roman Reigns, cool. And
I
then
was
because
looking. I
then
was
when they
looking.
realized when they realized they weren't going to fill no damn stadium on UFC fucking International Fight Week on
Yeah,
the
they was
setting,
wilding with that.
in the
Dog.
set wild. When they had to downgrade the venue, that's when I think Roman was actually decided to be taken off the card, and I think Roman's deal will
Yeah.
be probably something like a few
The
TVs a year with stadium shows and MSG, and that'll probably
the,
be.
the unfortunate thing about it, Monty, is part of me was really curious, just like what a Money in the Bank in a stadium looked like. I was kind of looking forward to just like that visual, Money in the Bank in a stadium.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like moving that to a smaller venue, and then we lose out on Cody Rhodes, who the show was going to be built around. If you looked at all the posters, all the
Yeah.
there's trucks and the commercials and stuff. Like this was going to be
Yeah.
Cody's show where he was going to headline it and win the Money in the Bank, right? And he's not on the show. And then it's like Roman Reigns is going to face Matt Riddle. Roman Reigns is not on the show. What do you really have now? You know what I'm saying? Like what? But you don't have like anything. I mean, not anything, but it's like really, what do you have? I don't even know who should win the Money in the Bank besides maybe like I guess Seth Rollins. I don't know.
I think it probably should be Seth. You know, like,
yeah,
I feel like
guess.
it quite obviously
But
should
like-
be Seth as well.
But like, okay, but this is the thing though. Like, I don't ever feel, and this is no slight to Seth. He's great, but I don't think there's ever going to be a time where they put the belt back on him specifically because of the 2019 run. I just don't feel like it will, because I feel
I could see him as a transitional heel champion to give it to
Yeah.
Cody when he comes back.
Yeah, and not only that, but it's just like with this whole Roman leaving thing, right? Because I guess this is the topic.
That'd be fine, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if Seth
that's what
wins
I'm
Money
saying.
in the Bank, cashes in on Roman for the WWE, and obviously he's the guy who just wrote Cody off TV. So
Yeah.
when Cody's ready to come back, he can just take it off Seth.
This isn't directly related to Roman's schedule, but what I will say, Monty, is we have a bit of a dilemma here, and here's what the dilemma is.
Oh no!
To me, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes is the Money World Title match to do. But Roman Reigns is probably going to face Dwayne Johnson at WrestleMania. So if that is the case, when do you do this Cody match? Because he's probably coming back Rumble season. And it's like, how do you do it in a way where it still feels as important as it could have, and you know what I mean, and not like some throwaway shit? Like, do you do the title match at the Rumble pay-per-view itself? Like, do you try to rush Cody back like in late 2022 and try to set it up that way? You know what I mean? I don't, and also I don't know how I feel about a guy winning a world title at the Rumble to then defend it at Mania rather than whatever. Obviously the fix to this is to just do the match at Mania, but that's not going to happen if Dwayne's there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
My whole my thing
I
on
don't
Roman.
care about any of this. I don't watch about it.
Yeah, Chris doesn't watch WWE. He just watches the pay per view. But my whole thing on this is just like, I don't understand why they didn't just work out a deal or work out a situation as to where they could have got one of the belts off. They didn't even need that, like you said, they didn't need to have the unification match. It's like, dog, nigga, when they announced that stadium, I knew they wasn't selling out that fucking stadium. First of all, not even just because of UFC, it's just because they didn't even sell out. They didn't even sell out WrestleMania both nights. So how are they going to sell out that stadium? And also it's just, you looking at this, and it's just who is there right now that they consider and seriously consider putting it on him? They're not giving it to Drew. They're not giving it to Walter because Walter's about to take the IC title. Like they're stuck in a situation right now as to where we basically had to bully Edge into changing his whole gimmick to make him seem like he was reliable and make it seem like he's necessary to do anything right now. And I would even go as far as to say if they gave the belt to a face Edge, I still wouldn't care. So
there just needs to be at least one world title in play right now, and there isn't. And Drew McIntyre is going to challenge for the belt at his UK show in Newcastle, and whatever, one of those beans and toast fucking areas. But
Cardiff is Wales, bro. Newcastle is England. So
hey, man, bottom line.
Normally, I'd let you off.
Yeah, right. I don't really know what to say other than just this is just a big, like, it makes you wonder, is Roman secretly injured? You know what I mean? Because it's like why can't they make that happen?
Oh,
Like him at Money in the Bank,
I remember after Mania, his shoulder was hurt.
That's what people said, though. It was never confirmed. People were just
It,
like,
it,
"Oh,
it,
his
it was
shoulder
never
looks
confirmed.
funny on
Yeah,
this
it
picture."
was speculation.
It was speculation, but I'll tell you what, it was really weird. A couple weeks, those weeks like with Roman, like it was really weird what was going on with him.
Yeah, he was kind of like when he was lifting the titles, he was wincing or whatever. Like
Not even just that. Like he was his presence on the shows was greatly diminished,
It's
and
not
like
even.
his backlash match was added last second.
It's like when you talk about this in the whole WWE situation, you start to realize that like they don't know what they're doing, so how could we know what they're supposed to be doing?
Yeah,
they're lost.
What, Chris?
Yeah, what?
I just don't.
He's in pain. He's here in WWE. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying
lagging.
the situation in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything major to say about it. I just think the situation is stupid for putting both world titles on a man you were not going to have there. That's all it is for me. It's just stupid.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when you made that decision, did you know he was not going to be around in the spring? Is my question. You know what I'm saying? It's like
they couldn't have.
Like because that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like there's no way going in the build to Mania. They're like Roman's going to be gone all spring. Let's put both belts. Like that is crazy. Like there's no way. Like they had to have thought like, oh, we still got this dude every week. He's going to be on Raw and SmackDown. And we're just gonna milk Roman on both shows.
They should have just done what not what I suggested, but like what a lot of people just suggested. Bro, have him win it, and then have him come out the next night or whatever, or a few nights later, and just be like, "Look, I just wanted to show you that I win a WWE title, and just give it up." I know it's stupid.
That would have been really stupid.
It would have been really stupid, but look,
because then what's the point of watching that match then if he didn't even want the belt he fought for?
It's better to do that and have one champion than be stuck here with no champions right now. You know, like we have nobody right now.
I would have just if I knew Roman was. I don't know, man. Perfect. The best case scenario for me would have been, and look, obviously we can't do it now because of Cody's injury. I would have had Cody win the Money in the Bank, cash that shit the next night in on Raw, book him to beat Roman Reigns for the titles on SummerSlam. You know, but we can't have that now.
You mean titles? You mean titles or one of them?
It doesn't really matter. Just get one of them on the fucking show. No, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But yeah, it's a crazy situation, and they're in a bit of a tough spot now because of this, you know. So
definitely,
I'm gonna have to make another call to Brock Lesnar or something.
Maybe
I would
put that in the back pocket, to be honest. So
yeah, I would have recreated the World Heavyweight Championship in this time. To be honest with you, I would have remade Big Gold. Because basically. Oh, you know what? I actually do have something kind of valid to say about this because there's some WWE fans who got mad at me when I said that it was a joke that this is happening, and people were saying like, "Why you need your world champion at all times? Like it's okay to have the world champion not around for a few months." And my response to that is that's actually true, but you have to book your product in a way where you are creating contenders and you are making your secondary titles feel like they matter in Roman's absence. But number one, WWE is not a sports-based promotion, and number two, wins and losses don't matter in WWE. So it's not conducive for that type of reality. You know what I'm saying? Like in other promotions, like a New Japan, for example, or some other promotions, like can they not have their world champion for 2 to 3 months and you do important, valuable things regardless? Absolutely. But right now, it's like what value does the Intercontinental and the United States Championship have? Like literally, like slim to none. Right? They don't matter. Those belts don't get defended on pay-per-view normally. So it's like if you don't have those belts that matter and Roman's gone and a lot of guys are booked 50-50, what do you have? You know what I'm saying? And now without Cody Rhodes, that's what I'm saying. You have Riddle and Randy. They love RK
Randy's gone, bro. What do you mean? Randy's having a little break as well.
Exactly. And with Cody, at least the previous month, it's like you didn't have anything, but you had Cody and he's a top babyface and he's in a big program. He's not even around. So realistically, it's like, what are you gonna do? Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I mean, this Riddle push, I think they'll just keep sustaining it. I think Riddle will get a Roman match at some point.
I would
Dave said on Observer Radio earlier that it'll be, if the Riddle match does happen with Roman, it'll be on TV. It won't be on pay per view. Roman's pay per view match at SummerSlam will be Randy Orton. Which is I am actually going to pop for that because Randy is probably the most over babyface in the company at the moment.
What I would say is that normally on paper, and if you don't follow WWE, like that match doesn't sound particularly great on paper, but in the context of what's been going on like this year, like if you pay attention and see how over like RK Bro is, for example, and see like how over Randy was and how great he was in like the Backlash tag, like that match makes sense, and that'll be like pretty solid. So like that's fine. But again, it's another match that Roman's gonna win. You know what I mean? Like when does it end? That's my question. When does this shit end?
Code is the man. Code is the one.
I hopefully
the new Cena, the new Bruno Sammartino, the new Hogan. But
Chris, where's your shaboing boing bell, bro? This man is going crazy. But listen.
I'm not listening, bro.
What'd you say? Oh, that's crazy. You're still not listening. Hopefully Cody has some Cena level healing and he can come back earlier than scheduled. Because I think it'd be great if he can make it to Survivor Series and just win the championship.
I mean, yeah. You know what I'd do?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably I'd make 2 phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
I'd call Mr. Wyndham Rotunda.
Oh boy.
I'd call Mr. Braun Strowman.
Oh boy.
And I'd get those boys back in the Fed.
Oh, just in general?
Yeah, just in general. Not to win the title. You know what I thought about it? Let me just get this point off because this is my real hot take. You know, if I'm Tony Khan or Vince McMahon, I'd probably sign Wyndham. Like, just fuck it. I honestly would, because in AEW you could just throw him in the Dark Order. I think he'd happily do that for $1 million a year.
No, that sounds stinky.
Then in WWE they just need more top guys, and Bray Wyatt's obviously huge over there. And with AEW, I've said it, you're gonna make your money back if you can get him for $1 million a year. You're gonna make your money back. So I'll just get him.
So 2 things, guys. To everybody, did you guys know that Bray Wyatt was making almost $4 million in WWE before they fired him?
I tweeted it earlier, so yes.
And then the other thing, this is a bit of news, but did you guys hear Dave Meltzer kind of imply like much deeper reasons for why he was fired today on Observer Radio?
And he was I can't get into it. I don't want to open a can of worms. Then he alluded to health issues, and then he alluded to how the Fiend was burying everyone. Then he alluded to a couple of things. I think because we know, I don't want to go into reckless speculation. We know that he's been struggling personally, especially like with the loss of Brody Lee, for example. I'm pretty sure like his break after Mania was partially related to that, if I'm not mistaken. I remember like a mental health break.
I wanted to wait, Hangman, was that the clip, like the Observer Live clip that you sent today of him talking about the Bray thing, or what was it?
I didn't send a Bray clip, but I know that on Observer Radio.
The clips we sent in the chat was all about the NXT 2.0 thing.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton praise.
But today on Observer Radio, Dave was talking about certain guys. When he got into Bray, he was saying how like Bray was making almost $4 million, and WWE knew that he was valuable and this and that. And he basically was like, the reason they were fired, why he was fired, I can't really get into that. That's a can of worms. So he knows something. And again, like I said, like it seemed like there was a lot of weirdness with Bray, and he had some personal issues and struggles. And it's just kind of interesting. It's a bit of a news tidbit that like it wasn't just the usual generic budget cut thing with Bray Wyatt. Like there was an issue there with him,
Yeah, Dave even said he was probably the 3rd highest paid in the company. They saw the value in it, and they just signed into a new contract. I think the health issue might be something that we didn't hear too much about. Like I know there was something out at the time. I don't know if it was Wade or someone else. It was someone a bit different now. You mentioned something about him having like weight issues and stuff like that. I don't know, man. Like no one really knows. We don't know if it was a mental health break. We don't know if he was injured. We don't know if he was, if he had like a long battle with COVID or something like that.
Well, all I'll say is on behalf of WrestlePurists, we hope that Wyndham Rotunda is in a good place physically, emotionally, and spiritually right now. And I guess we all wish him the best.
I look forward to seeing him be All Elite soon.
I don't know if I look forward to.
I'm looking forward to Tony Khan making some
you know what's
money.
Funny? I don't want it so bad that I want to just flat out see it happen, but I am morbidly curious of just what that looks like, what Bray and AEW even looks like. You know what I mean?
It would be
something else.
It would definitely get me to buy a ticket.
That's crazy. I feel like
praise.
I feel like it could be. I feel like
it's fascinating to me.
Seeing how the House of Black stuff has kind of been, I feel like it could potentially be like really bad. But who knows?
I think if he came AEW, he wouldn't go full supernatural. I think he would go more into his early gimmick of like quarterly, well, that in terms of like
just kind of like
realism,
psychological mumbo jumbo promos and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he would go full supernatural. I don't think you can in AEW like go full supernatural, like ridiculous. I think Malachi pushes it as much as you can push it.
I was gonna say we've told the line a little bit. We've told the line. Pento Oscuro and like some of that stuff is a little bit.
I know there's a deeper meaning. I know there's a deeper meaning.
Ridiculous, bro. Abaddon
Oscuro just means black, bro. There's not a deeper meaning, Rob. It just means black.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Chris sensed Rob about to drop a think piece on the theories of Pento Oscuro, and he was like, "Nah, bro."
I'm not talking about Penta. I'm not talking about Penta. I know there's there's deeper shit going on, but I saw something that said that Edge said he didn't want to do the gimmick anymore because they were going to make him do like supernatural.
Yeah,
shit.
we already talked about that.
Yeah, that's been reported by both Sean and Dave, to be honest.
Hey, you know what?
WWE wanted to go supernatural.
And I got into you with this a little bit a couple of days ago, Chris, like on Twitter, and now that we know more information, like, listen, man, again, you got to give props to Edge. He saw how you were cooking this, man. And then Vince was like, more spooky powers, and he's like, "Oh no, bro! Twitter's gonna body the shit out of me, bro. I can't be on that, bro." Like, he said, "I'm already down at 3-star matches, and now you want me to do fucking supernatural voodoo? Like, nah, bro. Like, I can't be on that." So he made a decision to save his career, and I respect that. Do we have anything else, Monty? Or
what else has been going on today? There is nothing that's like headline news.
Somebody,
anyway, as far as I'm aware,
somebody made a fake account with my face on it.
You have fans, man. You've made it.
Yeah, that's.
It has over 100 followers, so that's weird.
Mm-hmm. I guess the last thing, if anything, that I want to kind of point out, if we're winding down here, since we have some time, is just it really occurred to me when I was watching Apollo Crews on NXT that guys that you normally think are like non-commodities or guys you don't really think about or value like that. It's just crazy how like they're all talented, man. Like most of them, you know what I mean. And you kind of just take it for granted because
especially in WWE, man.
Yeah, because you don't get to see it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Apollo Crews, you saw the shitty Nigerian gimmick, and he's in catering all the time. But it's like in one night, he just acts like a normal human being. He talks like a normal human being. He's in a setting where the people value him and respect him, and they're praising and they're cheering him. And then he tags in the match, like in the main event of NXT, and like he feels just like he feels like a legitimate, viable guy. And I'm watching him, I'm like, this is a good wrestler. This is a good wrestler. And it's it's on. Wait, what happened, Rob? What happened, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I was gonna say, and so it's just like, wait, hold on, Rob. And so I guess my point is just that, like, it's just really unfortunate, like, how many guys kind of waste years of their career because Vince McMahon doesn't understand them. Mm-hmm. And it's like, look, does Apollo Crews have the tools to be like a super duper star? Absolutely not, right? But could he provide value of some kind of the product just being a really athletic, good wrestler? Yes, and you don't have to give every single person the most outlandish gimmick just to give them TV time. Some guys can just be really, just be a person. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. It's okay. Trust me.
I love how over they're getting NXT as well, the main roster.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
Like Annie, it doesn't matter how low you were positioned. You show up in that setting, and they really get into you. And I thought he.
and
Go ahead, Rob.
I was gonna say a really quick thing. I tweeted when he fucking showed up, and he had the expression he had. He's like, bro, he just feels like a completely different guy. Like he feels refreshed.
You could see it in his face. You can see it in his face.
Yeah, like he feels like, especially when he got that reaction, felt like he was alive. Like he was like, bro, like these niggas are giving me a reaction I completely don't deserve.
I mean, because think about it, it's like you're just a guy for years, and you're on catering or you're on TV just doing weird stuff to even get television time, and it's like you're just back to being a normal person, and you're in a setting where like people are like basically telling you that you matter. Like it has to feel good.
Like I know damn well he did not expect to get those "we missed you" chants.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah, so I just wanted to kind of talk about that real quick because I thought he came off great.
Yeah, we did. It's a nice addition to that roster, and it's a nice use of someone who was literally doing
nothing
whatsoever. It'll be a good program for Braun when they actually get there. But
finally another good Braun Breaker match. Finally,
it doesn't look like that's going to be his next defense.
No.
If I am to believe what happened at the tapings. Obviously, I won't spoil it for anyone because I believe they taped 2 weeks worth of TV recently. So
it's
because we'll find out soon. The challenger for Braun isn't bad at all. It's definitely better than Joe Gacy. I guess it makes sense.
Wait, there were tapings?
Yeah, they taped 2 weeks of television because they're gonna do a house show tour for the next few weeks.
I'm just gonna look that shit up. I don't give a fuck enough to watch.
The next week's show looks pretty fine, pretty decent.
There's an injury scare as well with Gigi Dolan as well. I guess hopefully she's all right. But there was a scare. Obviously, that's not really a spoiler because it don't really spoil who wins the match or anything. But there was an injury scare with Gigi, so Gigi, whatever you want to call her. Yeah, man. NXT. Apollo Crews is down there. Joe Gacy's now away from the world title, which is great news.
Are
man.
you ready?
NXT was actually pretty good. Pretty good is probably a bit of a stretch.
I thought it was pretty. No, listen, we gotta stop this. It's a better show than Raw and SmackDown. Like to be honest. Yes, it is.
No,
it is.
It's not better than Raw.
I vehemently believe this.
Monty, listen, Monty. I watch both shows, and I have a feeling of wanting to give up more watching Monday Night Raw than I do NXT.
Monty, it's better, bro.
It's not. It's not. It's genuine. I'll get the argument. I'll get the argument for this week because it was like one of the absolute better episodes of NXT 2.0. You could argue it's genuinely
even a bad
free episode.
Even a bad
Raw recently, especially since Cody's came in, it's nowhere near NXT levels, bro. Like Cody Raw has actually been pretty decent for the most part. Like I said,
Cody is fine. But like some of that other stuff, bro, it's just.
There's always going to be garbage on it. There's always going to be garbage on a 3-hour show, bro. There's always going to be some bit of garbage on a 3-hour show.
But it's Cody though.
But NXT 2.0 is also. This is the thing. NXT 2.0 is also like just terrible at points, like Raw is. It's just that we've brought in to get the Codys, the Riddles, the RK Bros, the Usos, etc. Okay, you don't get that in NXT. You get Braun Breaker, who's been feuding with Gacy for the past couple months. It's terrible.
If you ask me, the last thing I'll say on that is, I feel like 2.0 terrible is like the TNA early 2010s terrible, which is like the good kind of terrible for me personally.
Sometimes it's just boring, bro. With the characters, like there's terrible like Tony D, Andre.
Characters are boring.
But like with NXT, sometimes it is just like, you know, I do genuinely watch it every week, and it's like sometimes it's just like you can't believe this is what they're actually putting out on TV. So especially when they were doing the Gacy and Braun.
It's just because of the characters. It's because the characters are so bad. Like It's like the characters.
We get
So
it,
like,
Rob.
why are we having two dudes running around in their gimmick being like we're virgins? Like, I don't. It's so bad.
To be fair, he's just the one guy.
It's so
It's
bad.
just
I want to talk about
virgin. Briggs is his
Even
friend.
worse, you're a grown man. Why are you proud of being a virgin? You're a grown man. Like, come on now, bro.
I want to toss out. Ever since we were talking about Jeff, I've been watching 2000 Jeff Hardy singles matches on TV singles matches on YouTube on silent, and he's better than we give him credit for, man. I think he was actually pretty talented.
No, especially the early stuff. Well,
Yeah,
we say
yeah,
early. He's actually
he's
been
doing a lot
at
of-
WWE forever. But,
Yeah,
he's doing a lot of like
early Jeff, dog.
he's doing a lot of
Early,
like.
Jeff.
Wait, what? My point, Rob, is
That's
that
it.
he's.
Yeah.
My point, Rob, is that he was actually a pretty good wrestler.
yes.
He's doing some creative
Yeah,
stuff.
no,
This is
no,
dying.
that's. I'm talking about later on. That's
Rob,
that's
what are
he's
you
not
talking
good anymore. I'm talking
about?
about later on, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
Rob is confusing me.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what
What are
I'm
you
trying to
talking
figure out what
about?
Hangman is talking about. I never said he was bad. I said he was
I-
bad. He was bad later on, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Montel in the
I never
podcast.
said he was
What
like.
are
I'm
you-
about to say,
Word,
bro,
yo.
like, what are we
He's
talking
the-
about?
he's the-
Like,
This
I'm
shit is
so
falling
confused
apart.
because what did you?
Nothing.
What are we
Nothing.
bringing it up
nothing.
for?
Hollywood just trying to attack people. We're
I'm not attacking anybody.
getting
Yeah, man.
aggressive, lashing out.
Dynamite
Wait,
was okay.
Somebody
I'm so
in the
confused.
chat just said. Somebody in the chat just said, "Why y'all not watching Impact?"
Do you guys want to address that? Or?
Who's? Listen.
Hey, bro.
Who
No
said-
offense to you,
Who's
my
Josh
nigga, but that
Alexander
shit is
feuding
stupid.
with? Can somebody
That's my
tell me that?
bro. Chill.
Eric
That's
Young.
bro.
He's
Listen,
feuding
that's
with
my.
Eric Young.
Hey, hold on.
Really?
That's my dad, bro. Chill out. That's my dad,
Yes.
bro. Chill out. That's my dad. That's my dad.
Hello,
Chill
Mr.
out.
Robert.
That's my dad. Yeah.
Your dad. Hop off Impact, bro. That's why you like Impact.
No, that's not true.
That's
I
why
forgot that Rob watches Impact every week.
I watch
He
Impact.
does, every
Nobody
week.
else under the.
Rob,
Rob.
I'm gonna stop you. Rob, I'm gonna stop you real quick. You don't have to. If you just enjoy watching the show, it's totally fine, bro. You don't have to explain to me like why you watch it.
God, bro.
No, I mean this genuinely. Like you don't have to like explain it to me. Like it's okay.
Listen,
It's okay.
Rob.
It's
You
okay if
see,
like
Wrestle
Impact.
Purists. Wrestle Purists is safe
We don't
space.
we don't discriminate, bro. If you just
Yeah.
if you just enjoy Impact, it's okay, bro. Like, it's
I
okay.
don't watch Impact. I watch Impact
Yes, you do.
just for the people I like. Just for the people I like.
Bro, how come you were sending star ratings last Thursday then? That's just what I want to know.
Oh, that was different. Listen, I didn't watch last week. I didn't watch last week.
Yeah,
Bro,
nigga had like a
come
whole
on,
nigga had
man.
a whole notebook sheet of like star ratings.
Bro, I didn't watch Impact last week.
Nigga was like,
didn't
yeah, I
watch
think
the
the
last
I think
week.
the
Your
King of the
dad
Mountain
exposed
matches.
you, bro. I know you be watching Impact every week. You be capping for the
No,
timeline.
I'm not even watching it right now, and it's on. What?
Yo, listen, yo, Chris. You know how AO always says that
God.
niggas ghost watch Raw and SmackDown, right? This nigga Rob is just ghost watching Impact, bro. Like he really just like
no. This is not true.
Because
I'm one of the biggest
you know,
Impact haters.
here's
on the app. What?
the thing, because you're faking, bro. And here's the thing, Chris.
Huh?
You know what I noticed? Chris, you know what I noticed that he's a ghost watcher. One of the spaces you were like, "Could we be honest about Tasha Steelz?" I think it was Tasha, right? You mentioned, right? Am I tripping? Like, or you mentioned it, right? And when he said that, this nigga Rob he knew everything she did the last like 7 weeks, yo. I was sitting there quietly like, dang, son, like you really
What
like
are you talking about?
you are tapped in, bro. Like you really like you watched an Impact,
bro. I
Like,
saw
you
her
really-
match.
You really like Rob knows what's up. Like okay, bro. Like Rob really.
I saw her match at a pay.
Like he's really cooking. Like that's crazy.
Plus, I keep up for it to see when people's contracts are up, bro. That's
Rob,
hard.
it's so Rob, bro.
I'm
There's
not
nothing
an
to be
Impact
ashamed
fan.
of, bro. It's okay.
Y'all
like,
are
it's
dead
really,
ass on here. Y'all are accusing
It's
me of
alright,
being
bro.
Ayo Adebayo. Y'all
Bro,
are accusing me of being Ayo Adebayo, bro.
I'm not
and it's
accusing you
not
of
cool,
nothing, bro. Like it's cool,
is
bro. Like it's
crazy.
really, bro. I don't believe.
I just have to come to
Rob.
the realization, whether it's on Spaces, whether it's on the podcast, I'm gonna just get cooked, bro.
Rob,
this is
It's alright, bro. Like if you like Impact, bro, if that's like your shit, bro, if you enjoy Scott D'Amore's booking, bro, like that's fine. That's fine. If anything, Rob, I want you to keep me updated and let me know when anything good happens. You know what I'm saying? Like just let me know, bro. Like do your Impact shit, bro. Like I fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay. I'm not
There's
cooking
no
you,
way I
bro.
just got
It's
cooked because of
you
Impact.
know what
It's
I'm
all
saying?
love, man.
It's all love, bro. It's okay to like
Yeah,
Impact.
We
Rob,
all love
bro.
wrestling. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
bro,
some people.
Don't let people take away your fun, Rob. Love it.
exactly,
Embrace
bro.
it.
Oh
Embrace
my
if you love
god.
Impact, if that's what you love, bro. Like love that, bro. Like love that. You know what I'm
Some niggas
saying?
want to
Like
watch Deonna Purrazzo versus Tasha Steele. I'm not one of
that's
them,
what I'm
but bro,
saying.
if you one of them, it's cool.
Exactly, bro. If
I
you
do like Deanna. I do like Deanna.
hey, bro, you enjoy
I
the
like Tasha
virtuosa,
Steelz,
bro. Like you
man.
enjoy the.
This bit.
Can I just alert the viewership that the 12/18/2000 Jeff Hardy versus Benoit match on Raw's War is 3.5 stars. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's bro, it's cool, Rob. Like honestly, it's cool. We support you. You can come out. You can come out of the closet and let everybody know
No
that
way.
you were
No
that you
way.
were.
This nigga's treating it like
It is,
coming out of the
bro.
closet. This is
Listen, bro.
crazy.
I support the TNA GBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? Like I
That's
support them.
quick. You gonna get cooked. You gonna get cooked for that, but I'm gonna let you rock, Chuck. You gonna get.
I
Oh my god.
respect it.
Right, listen,
Oh
though.
man.
It's been emotional.
Yeah,
Um,
we've been all over
I've,
the place.
I've moaned like a grumpy old man about AEW Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood
That's
Hangman
crazy,
Adam
dog.
Pearce lost his mind for about 2 minutes at one point.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Y'all some
Chris,
funny niggas, dog.
Chris got the spotlight for Kyle O'Reilly. Rob has came out as an Impact fan, and we accept him.
No,
and
I
we love him all the
don't
same.
believe them.
And
Don't believe them, bro. It's no, I haven't. No, I haven't.
now, all jokes aside, he just watches AEW and GCW. So
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's fine.
whoa.
Well, guys, next week on WrestlePurists, we'll find out Rob's top 10 Joey Janela GCW match.
Listen, we got. Let's get through some
Whoa.
shout-outs. And, we'll go around. Chris,
he does not fuck with me.
Rob, we'll let you get your piece. Yo, Chris, you got any plugs? You got any shout-outs that you want to do before we get out of here?
Shout out to my nigga Big AO.
Yes.
Also, my friend Jade's doing a space tonight with the bad bitches. So if you want to hear some bad bitches talk wrestling, go tune into that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Rob,
all I'll plug is me and Chris have a podcast coming soon, bro. Y'all need to give us better names because the names are not it.
Let's just call it the Unpurist podcast.
That almost
dope
works.
ass name,
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that almost works. The only thing is there's like a weird sexually violent nature to the name that I don't like. But
okay.
like
And now we can't name it that no more.
it's not. I kind of fuck with it. The Unpurists, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll discuss.
Yes, my plugs would be. I want to shout out Isra, one of my favorite people. She will be on next week's WrestlePurists podcast. It's going to be her exciting debut. Absolutely. I want to shout out PW Musings, the wonderful stat-based platform run by Craig William. They break down match statistics. And so if you're into numbers and analytics, they're a wonderful platform, and they're co-signed by Kenny Omega himself. And yeah, I want to shout out PW Musings. I also want to say if you were unfamiliar with my Twitter page, follow me at Backup Hangman for tweets about wrestling.
Yes,
please
watch him get cooked every day.
Please don't harass me.
Please.
I promise I'm like a fairly nice guy, and if you want to see my opinions on matches from WrestleMania's history, I've been going through them in a series of reviews of WrestleMania. I've slowed them down almost intentionally because I'm now in the early 2010s. But they will. I will finish. I promise I'll finish. And I'll tell you guys what. When I finish, I'm gonna have the people vote on what they want me to review next. So I think that'll be pretty fun. And so that's
Are we supposed to be doing SmackDown 02?
I mean, that's a separate thing though. That's a separate thing though. For me, when it comes to reviews news, people suggested Tokyo Dome main events, TNA main events. We'll vote on it. We'll vote on it.
Yeah, Hangman reviews, always good stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast today, Monty. This shit went way too fucking long.
I love you, Monty.
Yeah, this shit went way too fucking long, and Rob confused me at points. But it's fine. It's all good stuff.
But yeah, man, Hollywood as well. Hollywood, you see when I remove us when we go offline now. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What did you say, Chris?
I said for like 30 minutes with all the WWE talk, I was kind of out of there.
You were dying, and like at least pretend to care, bro. Be a fucking professional. God damn it.
Yeah, let's get out. I'll do the normal plugs. Let's finish this up. But Hollywood, stay on the app when I remove you from the screen because you always leave, and it's like we go backstage again. So, anyways, WrestlePurists.com at WrestlePurists on Twitter. Please like, subscribe on this channel, and we will be back maybe at some point over the weekend. But if not, we'll definitely be back next week for more reviews and more kind of just talk and. Hopefully Hollywood won't lose his mind again at some point next week. Hopefully Israel's debut will keep him calm. Hopefully Rob can catch the end of Impact. Hopefully Chris can get over Kyle O'Reilly losing yesterday. And yeah, man. Like I said, like, subscribe, WrestlePurists.com. All peace and love. Bless. Yeah, let's get this outro out and peace.